showtime! Woo! 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 Silent and profiling. Woo! It's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy, and next to me is my main man, Mr. Mikey. And Mikey, today is the day it arrived. It's draft day.
Draft day.
Draft day.
That's one of my favorite times of the year. It's like a second Christmas for me. I love draft times. I like that shit, by the way.
Let me stretch out a little bit. Brandon Bean, baby. Big baller Bean, baby. Let's see what he can do. And by the way, Mr. Mikey, we have a guest. And his name is Mr. Curtis from Ace Per Head. What up, Curtis?
You bring a dolphin to our show?
I did. We may have two. Captain D may join us later. Oh, and Jarek is coming on. We already got people in here. Jason, the NWO theme. I know. I should, right? Maybe one day. Maybe on another show I do.
That might be fun. A little NWO, black and white.
That's right. That's right. Oh, guys, the draft is here. Finally, the draft has arrived. We are 25 minutes away from the actual start of the draft at 8 o'clock.
Or about an hour before someone actually kicks
on the clock.
Because there's about 30 minutes of pageantry.
Yeah. So, real quick, who do you guys think is going number one, I guess? Let's just throw that out there.
Dude, before we get to that, can we stop and take a moment and talk about this Lamar Jackson contract that just hit?
Yeah, go ahead. You guys were talking about it earlier,
Yeah. 5 years, $260 million, 185 guaranteed. He's
That's
the
insane.
new highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
That is
Granted, APY, not really total money.
Got some people on here.
DJ
Mr. Stone, TJ Stone in the house. What's up, man? What's up, Dallas? Appreciate you hopping on, of course. Man, Stone's the man. Stone's the man. By the way, Stone, I messaged you, man. I didn't want to, man, if you want to hit me back up, I had a question. So let me know.
My mic sound far away?
Okay, never mind. Nah, why? Let me see here. What's up with Mikey Mike? It sounds. Just check the settings on the Melon.
Yep.
Sometimes, for some reason they give you two options, the same one. I don't know, or just turn it up. Everybody else is good. I love the show, man. I love you too, man. Appreciate you. And Curtis, show some love to the Dolphin man, Mr. Curtis, for joining us. He could have went on his own and went live on his channel, but he decided to join us tonight, which is very nice.
I decided to slum with you Bills fans for an evening. You joined.
Right, you want to see our bad picks or something, or no picks. Possibly, guys, no picks tonight. Just throwing that out there. It's a possibility of 3 hours of no Bills news.
What, they're talking about trading back?
Yeah, that's the word around town. I don't think so, though. I don't think so because he hasn't done it in the first round since he's been here. So he's gone up, but he hasn't traded down in the first round. Now he's traded down in other rounds, but he hasn't done it yet in the first. So that's not saying that he won it, though. But I'm just throwing that out there.
I think if you guys could do it, I think that could be a big winner. Because
it says, Tom, the only mic that's loud and sounds right. Yeah, that's right, baby. That's right, DJ Stone. What do you mean, Curtis? This mic's no good?
No, mine's no good, too.
Oh. All right, hold on. You know what? I'm going to try something real quick on my end. All right, so talk, Curtis.
This thing over here.
Oh, there you go. Now I'm going to turn Mikey up, too, a little bit on my end. Because, you can turn it up with the sliders, right? On the left. You guys see those little sliders under your name? It says Mikey, it says Curtis on your very, very left.
Yeah, I see that.
There's like a green slider. So you can kind of go up and down with it, and that will turn up your volume a little bit.
Is that any better?
I don't see any sliders, man.
Yeah, to your very left. It says where your name is on the left of the screen.
I don't see my name on the left.
That's all right. I did it for you, buddy. Don't worry.
Yeah, we turned it up for you.
Yeah.
That's much better if you do it for me.
Now it sounds better. Now, okay. Sorry, guys. Hey.
Cool.
Yeah. So, let's get back to the Lamar deal. What are you guys thinking about that?
So, Curtis, I want to get your take on it. 5 years, 260, 185 guaranteed for a guy who hasn't finished a season in 2 years.
Oh, that's nuts, man. I mean, look, to me, they screwed it up from the beginning. They should have took the kid and marinated him for 2 or 3 years in the passing game, not exposed to all those hits. But they went for the Achilles lifestyle, the quick returns, beat him up, didn't really get the kids' pass evolution on the right trajectory. And now they got massive amount of money in a smaller guy who's based on the run game, at least a solid portion. He could throw, and maybe Odell will help him, but I don't know. That's a lot of money for a guy who risks his body and he's not a big dude.
Mikey, by the way, real quick, sorry, you got the chat, okay? Because we're clicking sometimes, and I click, you click, and we're clicking. So you control it.
I always run the track, brother.
I'll do everything else. I'll do the. Oh, by the way, we're going to be on all night till 11. Curtis probably will hop off because he's going to get excited for whatever happens in Dolphin Land. And
no
well, you never. That doesn't mean they can't get back in the first round.
Touché.
I'm just throwing it out there.
We're going to sacrifice more future picks for today.
Curtis, do you expect a lot of trades in this year's draft? Because I think so. I think there's going to be a ton of trades, and I think there's going to be some big name trades, kind of like last year.
I think you're seeing a lot of teams. If you look and you see all these like different guys getting traded for much lower value than you used to in the past. Some contracts that are much lower than the past, aside from a few big guys. You're seeing teams take a different look at the value system of players. And I think in that value system, the draft picks are even taking a more prominent place. And I think guys are just wanting to have more picks, except for the teams that are like really on the edge, like they're really hitting that window and they just need a player or two, So I definitely think there's going to be a lot of trades.
Yeah, it seems like that's what teams are doing now. They're trying to, getting out of contracts they just know they can't afford, which is a smart thing to do. I mean, like, that's why I'm really thinking that Ed Oliver, it could happen. I'm not saying tonight, but it may happen after the draft. I don't see the sense of keeping him if he's not coming back the following season. If you think you can't. I mean, and two, if he hasn't really lived up anyways to that top 10 pick, and he's already talking about getting bank and make it, that's never a good sign when you're doing that. Right. So it's like, hey man, if I'm Bean, I'm saying, okay. Yeah, I'm saying, all right. I'm calling around. And listen, if you trade him, I'm sure another team might give him that contract right away, and he'll be happy, and we'll be happy. We save the 10 and we go on. But I don't know. What's your thoughts, Mikey, on that?
It depends what we do at 27. If we take a D tackle at 27, I can see something brewing. But let's be honest. Let's not kid ourselves. Ed Oliver is our best 3 tech we have right now. Mm-hmm. Losing him would be creating another hole on that defense.
100%.
So unless we come up with a replacement plan for him, and do I think we could draft a Mozzie Smith or a Keanu Benton at 27? Yes, I do. Am I comfortable with one of those two guys coming in and starting right away? I mean, there's also Kalijah Cansey. I'm not a huge fan of his game. He's small. Not very many small D tackles make it. I want some beef in there. We can also run Jordan Phillips as our starter, as our young rookie.
If he get last, I don't know,
But he could be the starter at the very beginning as our young rookie.
You're right. And the way they rotate guys in and out, he probably want to get like a ton of crazy snap count. Yeah, I could see that.
As of right now, Dallas, yes. So that the $10 million is on our cap. So, and it's all base salary. So if we trade him, the whole $10 million goes with him. we can't cut him because it's fully guaranteed. So the only way to get his cap off of us is by actually trading him and having the team take on that money.
By the way, I looked over because I got my TV placed to the right where I could see the draft. And holy crap, I got to give the Chiefs or Kansas City credit. They have filled this freaking place. It is packed.
And
holy crap.
It's everywhere.
No, I know. Like they showed, I know, but damn, they show. Now it's going to be in Detroit next year. I got to figure out what I'm going to do on that one, Mikey, because that will be interesting.
That's for you, Curtis.
Oh, yeah. I missed my opportunity. Dude, I had an opportunity to go to the Ricky Williams draft, and I got pneumonia the night before, and I missed it. I was regretting it. I've never gone since, but, oh, man, I was so sad about that. If you get a chance to go, you got to go.
That's real quick.
As a football team.
Real quick, I never asked you this.
There you go. I hope you guys draft a kicker with that first pick.
Curtis, speaking of, I know it's just not draft talk really, but Ricky Williams, what's your thoughts on him? I thought he was underrated, I thought he was a freaking stud, man.
Oh, he's tall. He's one of the. He was a Hall of Fame running back.
Sure that you were running back who just. I mean, I'm not a Dolphin fan. Don't call me out, guys. I'm a realist. Like I talk about Dan Marino being probably the best pure passer ever. But Ricky Williams, man, I think he got the raw deal. I thought the Dolphins kind of did him a little dirty too with the whole thing. I don't know. That's a whole touchy subject with the marijuana, but I thought the NFL kind of screwed him, man. I mean, it really did. And he still came back, and he still was the man.
Oh, he was still really good, man.
Yeah. Really good. I just felt like they cut it. He was gone for 2 years, I think. Something like that.
Yeah, I think it was like 2 or 3 years. I can't remember.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, think about it. That's your prime in his prime. I mean, you're cutting his years on it. I don't know. I think that's kind of crappy, but he was a hell of a running back.
He had so much talent.
You know what I'm saying? Found his perfect. Found his two.
It's going to be one of those nights, brother.
Man. He's trying to take control.
All right, hold on. I'm going to turn it down a tad. See, I got a thing here. So tell me now.
I'll tell you. Ricky Williams was one of the best backs to come out.
Kansas City.
He played in a different time, though. I think he would have done better in today's game versus when he played because of, where we're at today. He was one of those guys he was almost like a hippie, as a person. Very much Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, big hippie.
Big hippie. And you love it. And he just played in a different time, that the NFL didn't accept those type of guys because of what they did. And he liked his trees. And at the end of the day,
he did.
Like his trees. The fact that he could walk away from the game for that long and come back and still play at the level that he played at.
Yes.
That's impressive. We watched what happened with Le'Veon Bell. He left the league for a year, came back, and he was a shell of himself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? No, it's no doubt.
Le'Veon Bell was, listen, Ricky was 5'11", 235, and he ran like the wind. He had incredible pop. He wasn't ultra lateral. He didn't have ultra lateral movement, but he had just enough with that pop and explosion and those giant thighs and balance. I mean, he was a stud. He had a little bit of Earl in him. He had a little bit of I wouldn't say Peyton, but
he had a little Walter in him.
A little bit with the stiff arm, but he had the small hands. He didn't have Walter's hands. Walter had like bare hands. But he had those small little hands,
Walters and Barry's and Ricky's, their legs were like tree trunks.
Oh,
they had a different running style back in that day.
No, that's that snow game in Buffalo where he just went off.
Too bad he was a Dolphin.
I know. Well, he's a Saint and a Dolphin, right? He finished his career. Yeah. Where did he finish? I don't think it was Miami. Baltimore?
Ravens. Yeah, the Ravens.
Yeah. Okay. I was right.
And he missed the Super Bowl by 1 year because he preferred to take pictures of them in the Super Bowl. He was like, and he's like, I don't care. No, he was great. Such a talent. Such a special. There's not one. The only guy that's really as talented as him would be Henry and Peterson. And
Peterson's a beast, bro.
I thought what's his
unbelievable.
face, the kid from the Giants, was really talented, but there's something not legit about him because he was injured too easily. I'm wondering if he got some of that size through some chemicals or something.
Oh,
because the kid from the Giants they drafted a couple years ago. Yeah, because he was unbelievable as far as his physique, but
his injuries. He had a freak ACL on the sidelines, and then he got rolled up on for his ankle, and those were the only two injuries he's had.
Yeah, but to me, I don't know. When you take steroids, your muscles grow much quicker than your tendons. But if you're naturally genetic and you train a normal way, those tendons
in college. What? Did you see him in college?
Oh yeah. But I know guys that played in college and they had special programs for the people to be on juice. I had one guy refuse to do juice, and he went up to the special room on the second floor, and it was my friend's brother. And he's like, nah, I'm not going to do it. They just had him. They benched him and they finally got rid of him. There's so much drugs going on. Like, to me, I don't know. I even think that, like, if you look at Barry, he was like 193, I think, in college. And he went to the combine at 203. There's no way when you're because, you get newbie gains and you grow really quick. But once you start getting to that edge of where you've been training for a long time, you don't add 10 pounds and run 4.28 or whatever he ran. You can't add 10 pounds in 3 months. It's just not possible. It's not possible. So, but it depends on when you take the steroids. So if you start training young and you reach your plateau, and then you take the juice for the final, the cherry on top, your tendons are already like grown to a certain place where they're as strong as the muscles, and now you just add a little bit. But anytime I see guys,
maybe back then it was different. Maybe even baseball. But I mean, who knows? I mean, with Bo Jackson, if he didn't have that weird injury, that was really
injury?
That was crazy.
That was a hip.
I know, but it got pulled out of his side. It was really. I mean, how that doesn't really happen. He could have been. Who knows? I mean, he was unbelievable.
Nowadays they have surgeries to fix that, and people can play.
He was
look
screwed.
Look at Tua. Tua had Tua's was even worse.
Yeah, Tua's hip, and he's playing. I mean, kind of. If when he doesn't get swung to the ground.
So Scott, I did hear that from Rico. Rico wants, but okay. Listen, I'm on the fence with that. I told you that. Bijan Robinson, he's not going to fall. I don't think he'll fall to us anyways. But if he did, yes, I would definitely draft him because we need a solid running back. I think Robinson is a stud running back. And we haven't had a stud running back since Shady. And if that's your chance and he happened to slip, which he won't, yes, you definitely draft him. 100% you take him.
But Bijan's the only one that you take.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's it.
I'm hearing. Listen. Yeah. Jahmyr Gibbs is basically Cook. About the same size, brings the exact same skill set. You don't draft Jahmyr Gibbs when you already have James Cook in the backfield.
Right.
Like if Bijan fell and they took him, okay, I can live with that. You don't trade up for him, but if he falls to you and you take him, okay.
Right.
But everyone's infatuated now. The Bills got to get a running back. Let's take Jahmyr Gibbs. It's a duplicate set. It's like we already have that guy. We drafted him in the second round last year.
I'm not doing it.
Look, if you look, you'll see that most modern backs, the primary amount of their run production comes from the offensive line's yards before contact. There's very, very few running backs that are so exceptional that they actually uplift the offensive line. And so, if, from an outside, I look at your team, you guys need blocking. I think to me, the guy who I'd love for you guys to get for you, and I wouldn't want you to get him, if you can get that guy Alexander Washington, Darnell Washington in the second round.
In the second, okay, I can get on board with the second. You don't use a first round pick on a backup tight end.
He's not a backup, man. He's not.
We just paid Knox $14 million a year.
It doesn't matter because if you think about it just from my outside looking in, You guys do not attack the middle of the field. Nobody buys your play action, and you struggle in run blocking. And at 27, you're going to have a hard time finding a quality tackle, or even, maybe a guard, but you might be reaching a little bit. And so if you can come out with Knox and a quality blocking tight end who would be unbelievable in the red zone, especially with Allen rolling out and high pointing with a 6'7" tight end who's going to get you genuine blocking, and the guy is a speedster. Remember, he's a mid to late clock guy. And what does Allen do? He buys time to mid to late clock. And so if you just imagine you're doing play action and then you get the boot, guys are going to start biting when you have him on the strong side, and then he can release. You'll actually get some edge runs because the guy is 6'7", 270.
Yeah, he's
fast.
He's a beast.
He's fast.
He is a
he's
freak.
The most intriguing tight end prospect.
I do him. Yeah, he is.
Remember they said Gronk was remember how they made fun of Gronk? He's got shades of Gronk to me.
So let me ask you this, Curtis. What have you seen from the Bills that they'd be willing to use a second tight end?
But that's the problem. They need to rethink their philosophy. Their philosophy is garbage, dude. I mean, I'm a nobody. I don't even really know the Bills. I barely knew Allen when I started covering your team. But I laid out a menu of what needed to be fixed because it was just so obvious. And the continual replay of this really almost insane philosophy on offense, if they don't rethink, I'm not saying scrap it all, but you need to take half that menu and add a whole new bit to that. And I think the biggest problem is you got to get legit biting on the play action. And I think a double tight end set to get, you have Davis and Diggs. Those are perimeter and deep threats. But you got to funnel guys inside. And Knox is dangerous, but not that kind of dangerous. You add a double tight end set. Now you have backside rollout with Allen Knox one-on-one. You have a front side tight end that can legitimately block, that's going to get you that run game, that's going to draw guys in. And once you draw that safety in, now you get more one-on-ones with Davis and Diggs. To me, when you got a guy like Allen, all you want is legitimate play action. And if you get legitimate play action, everybody else is going to get open. So, I mean, to me, and you guys interviewed Washington. And to me, if you got Washington and you found another lineman in that second round, I mean, I know
you take Washington at 27.
I don't know, man. I would say to me, trade back. Tommy was talking about trading back. You trade back. Now you got some extra ammo. You kind of get a feel of how things are flowing. I think he's going to go like early second.
Me too.
That's what I think.
I think he's going to go between. I think he's going to go between 33 and probably 40.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could trade back, get a little bit of ammo, and then grab him, then you can get your guard. And you could, or maybe there's some tackles out there, but I don't know if I like any of the tackles mid-round for you guys.
The only one, but he scares the hell out of me, is Jones out of Ohio State. He's the only one because I think Darnell Wright's going to be gone. I think Broderick Jones is going to be gone. I think all those top tiers are there. I'm not a fan of Antoine Harrison. I think he's a better left than a right, and we don't need a left. We need a right. So Jones, he just reminds me so much of Mekhi Becton with his size that it scares the hell out of me because Becton hasn't been able to stay on the field because he always gets hurt because of his size.
Yeah.
The problem is when you get a guys that big and you're in pass sets all day, it's a waste. To me, I think Brown can cut it if he just gets himself healthy, adds some weight, and you guys run the dang ball, man.
Our issue isn't so much it's our scheme and the players that we have that fit the scheme. We just brought in 2 guards. We brought in Edwards from the Rams. I think he played with the Rams.
Yeah,
he was on that Super Bowl team. And then we brought in McGovern who is more of a pass blocker than a run blocker.
Yeah.
He's a whole lot better than what we saw last year at our left guard.
I don't like the money. I don't like the money you paid him though.
Hit that up, Mikey.
Yeah. We got a super chat comes in from Scott Blakely. Thank you, Scott. We appreciate it, buddy. Says Mike and Tommy are so impressed with our mock draft time recently. That mock draft show was awesome. We had so much fun. Chris, I don't know if you saw it. We did a mock draft a couple weeks ago where the chat did the mock, and me and Tommy just went through and gave insights, and we did a voting tier, and they chose it. So me and Tommy each did a mock a couple weeks, and we set it up to where then it was the chat mock, and that was just a ton of fun.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
I wish I had that idea. I'd have done it.
Yeah, next year, come on with us. We'll do more of those. So what we did is Tommy did a mock 1 week. I did a mock 1 week. Then we did a community mock where the chat made the selections. We went on our new stream that Tommy has, our new service, and you can do votes, so where they voted for it. There were some good arguments in there.
I'll tell you what we could do if I could do it. If I could get it right with everybody, we could have an epic next year mock draft where we do the same thing, but we get Curtis on, we get Juan and what's his name on from Sports Dynasty, and we get Captain D, and they can invite whoever, and then their chat can be involved with us, and they can make the pick. It'll be a lot for their team.
We can do the AFC East mock draft.
Yes, AFC East mock draft.
Because we can choose 4 different teams to select for in there.
That's cool.
Right. So when you're up, and we could also do it where the week before we all do it where it's our pick. So Curtis will pick, maybe Curtis and Captain D will you know what I mean? So yeah, we're getting creative and all that. Yep. We got a commercial real quick. Give me a minute, guys. Oh man, I am drinking already.
I'm with Joey. I don't think either of them solidifies the offensive line.
Which players?
McGovern and Edwards. I think they're better than what we had.
I can't believe you paid that much for McGovern. That was a little bit of a disappointment.
Well, if you go back and look at the breakdown of the contract, it's not that much. The first year is very small. He's guaranteed 2 years, and then we can get out. That's how Bean does all his contracts.
Yeah, I don't know. There was some other guys out there. I can't remember who it was. But you guys were strapped. You strapped with money too. You were strapped with
serious cash. But those elite guards though got some serious cash.
Hit a commercial here.
Yeah.
All right, give me 1 minute.
What the McGovern thing said, tells me is our philosophy is not changing because he's a pass blocker, not a run
That's
blocker.
my concern, Mikey. You read my mind, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that told me is, now if we go in here and we grab like Torrance or we grab Avila or one of those guys, okay, now we're talking about a different type of setup, but we've already paid Bates, and I don't think Bates is bad. I really don't. He had a solid year. He could get better.
I'm not a fan.
I think
of
he's
him,
more
man.
of a
I saw
center.
him get blown up so much. He's got no cement in his pants, dude. I watched that guy. I remember. This is how I was like, I really don't like this guy. Now, Jerome Baker from the Dolphins, he's like a 220-pound linebacker with like a 5-pound weight in his back pocket, and he blew McGovern up in the hole. And I never see Baker blow anybody up. I mean, it might have been just one play, but I don't know. I always saw that guy. I always saw him getting jacked up. I really don't like him at all. I think he was your weakest link.
You're talking about Bates?
Yeah.
Yeah. And no, I don't even think he was close to our weakest link. Our weakest link was Saffold, and then behind that it was Brown.
Yeah, but why would you? Okay, I got to ask you a question. All right, so you're Brandon Bean. Why do you go and get Quisenberry and Saffold, who on a run-heavy offense, who are primarily run blockers, then bring them into an offense that they sit in pass sets all day?
They were both brought in because they knew our new O-line coach.
But that doesn't make any sense though, because
they brought him in to teach the new scheme. That's why they were there. They brought in their guys. It was no different than when we brought in Bobby Johnson. We brought in Bobby Johnson, then here comes Feliciano, and here comes these guys. It doesn't work by any means.
No, Saffold is a run blocker. That's his strength. So how do you take a guy who was in I don't know, I think it was maybe 55 pass and 55 run, 45 pass or something.
Well, I don't think they even threw 45 times. I think they threw 25 to 30 times a game. And they ran back when he was with the Tennessee.
Oh,
Titans.
yeah. No, I think they were I think it was 53% run or 55% run, maybe 45. I'm not sure. I got to check that. But it was definitely lots.
Did Saffold even get picked up yet, though?
No.
Okay. So that tells you a lot. I'm just don't now. Will he get picked up? Sure. I'm sure somebody's going to eventually. He'll take a minimum deal somewhere. But listen, Saffold was already declining. Tennessee let him go for a reason. Yeah. I'm not saying that Saffold's bad. All of a sudden he's terrible, but I think Saffold. I think he hit his stride, and I think unfortunately he hit it when he came to us. And I agree with you somewhat where he's more of a run blocker, but even with run blocking, I was a little disappointed. On that fold. But I will say, if you want to blame anyone, really, it's the guy I'm wearing, the shirt I'm wearing, which is Brandon Beane. Because listen, we've had an offensive line problem for years now, and he keeps on getting these 1-year contracts for these Saffolds, the Felicianos of the world. He doesn't. We haven't really addressed it by the draft. Deion Dawkins was the last really main one that we tried. Worked out. Yeah, Spencer Brown was the third. Was it third round? I think Spencer Brown was. Third. So, but we really haven't addressed it. So it's and even in this draft, I feel man, if they don't, we're right back to where we were last year. We'll see what happens when we go. It's almost like they're kind of just throwing things out there and seeing if it works. And listen, Ryan Bates, I know you don't like him. Me and Mikey like him, but here's the problem. He's not a true right guard. He's better off left guard, but now we got McGovern, who is going to stay at left guard. So if we don't, Bates will be that right guard, and I much prefer Bates being that rotational guy or a future center, and just let Mitch Morse go, save the 8, or draft a center, let Mitch go, and then have Bates there as a rotation guy, or if a guy goes down. I know they paid him, but man, he's just
that much, though.
Yeah, you didn't, but I still think, but you know what I mean. But I think he would be a good quality backup offensive line to have in case something happened. You keep him on the 53. You get yourself a right guard. Hopefully, in this draft, you get a center. You let Mitch go because Mitch is a shell of himself. It really is. I'm not saying he's the worst center in the league, but he's in the middle of the pack, and we're paying him a lot of money.
I thought you guys should have got. I thought you guys should have got Nate Davis from the Titans. They let him go. He would have fit.
Yeah, but he got broke off. We didn't have the money for Nate Davis.
Yeah, the thing is,
10 a year. You could afford 10.
No, look at our contracts. All of them have been cheapy deals. Even
McGovern's this year, I think, is only 4. Really? He got an average.
We didn't pay much. Yeah,
But I think this year's 4. Next year is 6, and I think that's the 10 that he was guaranteed or whatever, and then they have a house.
Yeah,
that's a shame.
You got Listen, man, Curtis. Listen, how you win in this league is in the trenches. Me and Mikey talk about it all the time. In the trenches, man. If you lose in the trenches, you lose the fucking game. You will not win. You will not win the battle.
I mean, we got our ass kicked in both sides of the ball.
Yes, and when you know what it is too. It's weird. It happens to Buffalo the last 2-3 seasons. We start off hot. We start off looking good, and the team starts to go okay. All right, this is what they're doing. Now we're going to do this. Let's see how they counter. And we never counter right because we don't have any answer because they know that, just like Curtis said, there's no real play action. They know we're not handing the ball off. It's bullshit. Their RPO is never going to happen until we fix that O-line, until we get a running back who knows what he's doing. So when we get that fixed and situated, then we'll be a dynamic offense. Then I think Ken Dorsey can actually dial it up. Now, if we get that and Ken Dorsey's still calling fun ball like Curtis likes to say, and we're throwing it a million times a game, then Ken Dorsey needs to go, okay? But until then, it's up to Brandon Beane to supply the players for Ken Dorsey to work with. And I will say, too, we have a hell of an offensive line coach in Cromer. So I'm hoping that this draft, Cromer has a little bit more say than he did last year, and he could pick his guys now. Because I kind of felt like last year, it was just like, all right, here's what you got, bud. You know what I mean? But now this year, I kind of feel like he'll have his hands a little bit more on guys, that he can. And by the way, Spencer Brown, I know you're not sold on him either, Curtis. I think Spencer Brown still could be that guy. And listen, it's just not you. Bills Mafia, I would say 70%, maybe more, not hates, but they do not like Spencer Brown. I'm on the opposite. I think Spencer Brown has had a little bad luck. He's had the back injury. He didn't get to practice at all last year. No OTAs, no training camp. He had back surgery. Day one, boom, he's put him in the lineup. He didn't get to work with Cromer at all. Nothing. So I think if he stays healthy, he works with Cromer in the offseason, OTAs, everything goes smooth, and he's still bad, then fine. Address the right tackle.
I'm going to have to go with Scott a little bit here. Now, if you're an offensive lineman, the offense itself, its power, its potency is having the initiative. They know the count. They know where they're going. And as they lose that initiative based on whatever, down and distance, whatever, the deal, the potency of the offense drops. But that big part of that potency is the linemen are now at a disadvantage. And when you take guys and you throw them in pass sets all day, and then you take, say, 50% of their runs and you make them draws, you've got guys sitting and playing defense when they're on offense. Every time a lineman goes into pass protection, he's playing defense. You've got to give offensive linemen a chance to play offense. It builds confidence. It creates a guessing on the defensive side of the ball, and the run game wears out that front. But you guys run draws all day long and pass, and that puts even a good offense, because Dawkins is a pretty good offensive line, but he's
our best.
He keeps getting worse and worse.
Sometimes. Yeah.
It's not him.
But let me ask you this, though, Curtis. Is it also because he hasn't had a quality left guard next to him? Think about it. So I'll give you a good example. His rookie year, you know who was next to him?
No.
Okay. Richie.
Oh, Richie. He was good.
Right. So guess what our offensive line did while Richie was here? We were I think top 10 and run. We were one of the better offensive line in the league.
Right there. You were
but Richie was next, right? But Richie was a solid left guard who was next to.
So good.
He was a beast.
It wasn't just Richie though. It was Eric Wood.
Right.
I'm saying one of those guys.
But I'm saying next to Dion. So when Dion has somebody next to him that he goes, okay, this guy's going to play with me more than one season. We're going to start to gel with each other. We're going to know. It's a one unit. They got to work together, right? It's like a chain thing, right? And I kind of feel like Dion Dawkins has been here's a new guy. Now here's a new guy. Now here's this guy here, and I feel like that's messing them up a little bit. You know what I mean? So
it is.
They fix that up.
But
to me, I hate to burst your bubble.
Yeah.
I hate to burst your bubble.
Yeah.
I don't see the Bills going and drafting more offensive linemen. Although I think they should.
No, I already said that.
I
don't think so either.
Edwards, Bates, and McGovern.
They get somebody though. They got to get somebody in the draft offensive line.
Look,
they already have 4 interior back.
Doesn't mean you have to keep them all, Mikey.
This is going to sound weird from a Dolphins fan.
Like Bacher, I'm honestly, if you pick up a solid,
like 7 years.
I get it, but it doesn't mean anything. If you pick up a solid offensive lineman in the draft and he outbeats Bacher in camp, who cares about Bacher? Trade him then. Get rid of him. Who cares about that?
Allen needs some.
We're gonna get offensive lineman somewhere in this draft. There's no way we skip around it.
We did the same thing last year and it didn't happen.
No, I was heavy on corner. I agree with you. We should have went offensive line, but I felt like I honestly got fooled and tricked, and I'm one of them, that I thought Saffold and Quessenberry would be okay. I thought they would be serviceable.
They would
Yeah,
if
but
you ran the football.
See, I don't.
But we couldn't run the football. We tried, and they get blown up.
No, dude. If you
Man,
go back,
Curtis, I'm telling you, it's bad. It was bad.
50% of your runs were draws. Listen, go look at Patriots. Go look at any run team, even the Titans. They have periods of where they're not generating a lot of run yards, but they keep with it. You guys abandon the run. And even when it's successful, you guys abandon it. You lost 2 games at the end of last year when you were running the ball up the yin-yang, and then all of a sudden decide to go to fun ball.
I agree with that. That I agree with. We did. We bought, but to Ken's defense, we did that with Dable as well. There was no difference. Dable didn't have a run game. Dable did the same thing. And Ken Dorsey, let's be real. Ken Dorsey's first year playing as a play caller. He's going to make some mistakes. We still were a top 5 offense, Curtis. So it wasn't like, oh my God, the Bills barely made it to the playoffs. The defense carried them the whole way. Like, bro, we were a top 5 offense, no matter how you want to picture it. Now, yeah, did it fail us at the end? Sure. But for a first-year play caller to have a top 5 offense, I would say you can't doo-doo and shit all over a guy that has a top 5 offense, no matter what you say.
Teacher, I'd like to answer that question. Teacher,
yeah, go ahead.
Will I answer that question?
Yes, go ahead.
Because he had Allen. Allen was the running attack.
That doesn't
took a beating like nobody's business.
I get it, but like you said, defenses eventually know what you're doing, right? We still played 17 games. Yeah, so but I'm saying in 17 games, no matter if you got Allen or not, if you finish a top 5 offense, it can't just be because Allen made a lot of mistakes this year, right? Threw the ball away a lot. I'm just throwing this out there. Isaiah McKenzie played terrible, who was supposed to be the slot guy. The new slot guy that we came in, which was was it Crowder? James got hurt for the year, so there was already limitations on this offense that Dorsey was working with, and he still finished top 5. So you can't really knock it. It's not like the offense sputtered all the way down to the finish line. It sputtered at the very end because our offensive line got beat up, and our defensive line got beat up by a backup offensive line in the Cincinnati Bengals. That had nothing to do with Ken Dorsey against the Bengals. Nothing. Think about it.
To be continued.
It will be, because I'm very curious. Hey, honestly, I will say this. I'm very curious how year 2 goes with Ken Dorsey. If it falls the same, I am on the same boat as everybody else where, okay, it's probably time to break away from Dorsey and get ourselves a coordinator who's been around, has experience. I get that. I'm all with that. I'm not one of those guys who's like, gotta stick with him. I'm with you on that one.
Go outside and get an actual coordinator that's away from McDermott.
Possibly.
That,
it doesn't help. It doesn't help too that we have a defensive.
Do you think Bryce will be a good quarterback?
Carolina has about 4.5 minutes left to make their pick.
All right, commercial time. Commercial, so I can get my beer pop.
Bills, man, I can't stand these Bills. They suck.
Oh, really? Well, let me tell you, the Bills are the best team in the NFL. 5 division titles in 6 years. They practically invented the no-huddle offense.
Invented.
And they don't need bandwagon jumpers like you.
Don't need you.
Let's go Buffalo.
Let's go Buffalo.
Let's go Buffalo.
I love that one.
So 4 minutes till Carolina makes her pick. So who's Carolina picking here, guys? If you had a guess, go for it.
Bryce Young.
Right?
Who should they pick?
Yeah. Who should they pick? Who do you think they should? Who do you think?
Should they? C.J. Stroud.
That's what I think too.
Bryce Young.
I agree with you. What do you think, Curtis?
Honestly,
I think Stroud would be the best pick for them, but I don't know. I'm not an expert.
I'm really terrible at the college players because I really don't watch that much. I really know about what the NFL teams need, and I got to see some NFL tape before I can make some good judgments. He's small,
pick us in.
He's talented.
Pick is in. Pick is in. Mike, you might be ahead of me. I don't know where you're at. I'm a little behind.
I don't know. We were when you said 4 minutes. Mine said 4 minutes as well.
Oh, really? Okay. Cool.
Pick is in.
So let's see. Let's see. Are we gonna get this? Are we gonna get a shocker? Are we gonna get a?
I think Panthers are going to
there was buzz talking about Anthony Richardson going number 1 this morning, but I think that's all just rumor. I think it's
and even Levis, they had some odds on him going first.
Yeah, that was because he or someone he knew went to Reddit.
Well, by the way, no trades as of yet, right? Nothing. No trades that came across the board yet. A lot of
Bryce Young was drafted number 1.
Oh, did he? You got the update? See, I'm so behind on my TV right now.
It's not on my TV. I got the update.
You got the update. See, me and Mikey are behind. We're behind. So Bryce Young is your number 1. Bryce Young, congratulations, buddy.
Good luck. Good luck in Carolina. There it goes.
Yeah, good luck, buddy. Good luck.
So we're about 20-25 seconds behind.
Yeah, and it's what it is. Is what it is. So Curtis, who's your going to the Dolphins real quick? Who do you want for your first pick if you guys don't get up in the first round? Like if you guys stay where you're at in a second, who you eyeing?
They need a tight end, big time because they need a lineman. They're not. Right. Listen, the Dolphins and the Bills have such strong parallels in the way they construct their teams, the way they set up their quarterbacks. And I'm not really fond of either to a certain degree. There's just this animus towards really investing in the offensive line. We do a little bit better as far as the free agency and stuff. But the tight end is so desperate for the Dolphins. They have their tight end situation is so bland. It's terrible. And they believe in Eichenberg, who's like some Dolphins fans call him Hindenburg, and Jackson, who they call Slackson. So, I would love Washington to the Dolphins to trade up and get him. That's my guy. Or Kraft in the third. I think I want Washington or Kraft. And then I think they need a DT because I think in the same way with Oliver, they got Wilkins is looking for a $25 million contract. And then they got Seal, who's also free agent.
Wilkins
and he's a $20 million contract.
Yeah. Wilkins has lived up to his pick. I will tell you that right now.
I don't think they want to pay 25.
No, but somebody will.
Somebody get paid.
Somebody will. He's a beast, man. We
were talking earlier about the Bills and Darnell Washington. Honestly, I think you put him, Sam Laporta, one of those guys, Luke Musgrave, and that Dolphins.
Oh yeah. But the only thing about Laporta is he's not a good blocker and he's a little small.
Yeah.
See that it's like to me the Dolphins are like Bruce Lee, and they need a little Mike Tyson because. We're the sunshine team, but we're going to have to play critical games up in Buffalo, although Buffalo doesn't like to play towards their own home field advantage.
Correct.
So that's good.
Been saying that for years. Right. We are. We ain't built to play in no damn snowstorm.
But then you got KC. KC's a bad environment. You meet them in the playoffs. We got to play them this year.
Yeah.
And then you got Patriots and the Jets. And we will suck in the snow because we are so finesse and so thin on our offensive line. So Laporta, he would give us more of that pop, but we need. He would
give you the Gesicki. He would give you that Gesicki type of off. But they didn't use Gesicki right last year.
No,
it's because they need more of the Kittle. If you go back and you look at that San Francisco offense, Kittle half the time disappears because they don't use him enough in the offense. Yeah. As good as he is, like Kansas City uses Travis Kelce to the best of his ability. San Francisco does not use Kittle to the best of his ability because he's a really good run blocker too. You go look at, Mark Andrews and Baltimore. They use him to the best of his ability as a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't see that in some of these others. Like, we don't use Dawson Knox to his ability at all.
Well, the problem with the Dolphins, and I think of the problems also with Kittle, the quarterbacks are not able to buy the time to get to mid to late clock like Mahomes can or Jackson can. See, that's the problem is Dolphins don't have an offensive line. All their throws, even though they're the deepest in the league, it's because their receivers are so quick. They're still getting that ball out fast because they can't protect long enough. And so that's the key. You know, if you got a tight end, for the most part, it's mid to late clock. And so somehow you got to get there, whether it's the legitimate biting on the play actions, whether you got a quarterback who can roll out or an offensive line that can block long enough. San Fran kind of can block long enough, but, you know, you had Jimmy G, who's like a statue, you know? So the Dolphins are in that problematic position where, you know, you go get a tight end and he doesn't get out into routes quick enough and he's just going to be lost like he was last year because they can't block long enough. They just can't.
Yeah.
Houston, pick is in.
Oh my!
What do they do? What do
You're
they
ahead
do?
of us. You're ahead of us, Curtis. You're gonna be our the guy announcing
Our
the pick early.
correspondent just breaking the news.
We're behind.
I get paid extra for that, I hope.
You do.
Yeah, but that's why Allen would be great for a good tight end because he can get to that mid to late clock. And that's why I love Washington for you guys, man.
I can't. The ROI on a tight end 2 in round 1 just blows my mind.
No, I guess in a trade back, though. I think a trade back.
Yeah, and a trade back, I could see it.
But honestly, what happens if he turns out to be 75 or 80% of Gronk? I mean, would you really regret that?
No. Listen,
so he's faster than Gronk.
I'm going to tell you this.
He's faster than Gronk. You know,
I have who I want to draft, but no matter who they draft, I'm going to find a way to like him. I'm a fan. That's what I do. I guess. No part of
I don't know.
Last year until we drafted him, and then I figure out a way to like him.
I still don't like Bernard. So I don't know if I agree with that.
Just think about Bernard was our fifth, and
I was so pissed. I was so mad with that. I was so mad with that pick.
I like Triggs coming here. Do we feel like the Bills are going to wait to see if Flowers and Jason get picked before they trade the pick? Yes. We won't be doing anything until we know what's on the board.
Or if they're really if they're really on board with the D-Hop thing, then that will, to me, forget about the receiver right there.
DJ Stroud goes number 2.
Okay. Way to go, Curtis. You were late. You're supposed to be our guy.
It still says pick is in.
Whatever. Stroud's the pick.
Man. All right. Well,
Jeez.
I'm only good for the pick is in. I don't know who the player is going to be.
They've been talking all about how they don't want Stroud. Bam, they pick Stroud.
Oh man.
Tommy and Mikey, you like Stroud?
I do. I'm a big fan of CJ Stroud. What he did, he showed me something against that Georgia Bulldogs team. He showed me that he had that guy, that was deep down. You didn't see that a lot against the Big Ten, but when you put him up against tougher competition, you saw that come out in him. Yeah. And that's what you want to see.
What's
his weaknesses?
What's his weaknesses? He's an athlete. He's that super athlete, right?
I don't know what, I think his weakness is going to be a lot of the issues that a lot of OSU quarterbacks have. And it's going to be, he's going to have to speed up his game. He's slow at processing. He's a little bit slower, but a lot of rookies are slow at processing. And you can see him, I think that was a lot of the issue with the whole S2 issue that came out on that test. It's supposed to be like the cognitive test that does all kinds of stuff. Yeah. They were concerned that it was about slow processing. I think he's the best quarterback in the draft. Like, he's the most pro-ready quarterback in the draft. I think Anthony Richardson's the most athletic quarterback in the draft and has the highest ceiling.
Oh, he's intriguing. He's intriguing.
Yeah, he has the highest ceiling.
It could go bad. It could go bad too.
Has the highest floor. He has a really high ceiling, but he has the highest floor. CJ reminds me a lot of Fields.
Yeah.
He has the same processing. You know, he's
I don't
more
like,
accurate.
I
than
don't
Fields.
like that though. I don't like that because that leaves a big room for failure.
Well, there was problems with all the quarterbacks this year. None of them were none of them were the Trevor Lawrences or the Joey Burrows or, the Andrew Lucks. There was no clean quarterback coming out this year. They all had some issue.
Yeah.
Like
Checking
even
on
with Josh Allen. Josh Allen didn't come out the way Josh Allen is today. He fixed his issues. There was a lot of concern. He was, he was a project. He had a very high ceiling, and he's hit the ceiling. That's because it's all about the makeup of the guy and how much work does he put into it. Like Josh Allen still makes boneheaded decisions. 5 years in, you got to live with. You got to live with when the Superman. He's not gonna be Joe Burrow. He's not gonna be that quarterback who's just slice and dice you. He's not gonna be Tom Brady. He's a playmaker.
By the way, we're talking about a newly single Josh Allen, buddy.
I don't know about all that.
That's what I'm hearing. A newly single Josh Allen. His mind is back in the football. He got a nice haircut. He's ready to go.
I don't follow his personal life. I just want to know.
Oh yeah. I'm just. Well, hey, listen.
Maybe that's all that matters to me.
Maybe she was holding the back, and we're gonna get to see that 5,000-yard perfect season.
Okay.
Right? Hey. Doesn't got his girlfriend bugging him no more. Who knows?
What's interesting? I did a study on Allen. Do you know in 2020 they blitzed him 30, I think, or 40 times more than any other quarterback in the league, and that was his best season. Then 2021, they started going more to zone. And then last year, they went to heavy zone. So I think that's the key for this kid. You got to break them out of zone. And I think that's the real problem right now.
We need that slot guy. We need that guy that can get open.
Nah, man, I think it comes back to how do you break zones? You run the football.
You also get a guy who can separate and find the soft spots that reads the defense the same way Josh does.
Or a tight end, or you could get an offensive line where you don't have to you rely on your tight end, Dawson Knox, who if you saw last year, Curtis, Dawson Knox had an off blocking more than he was actually getting out and receiving and helping the offense. So if you fix that part up or get another tight end, like you were saying, then a blocking tight end, then you can get Dawson Knox a little bit more involved in the passing game. But I agree with you. I think you got to get the running game going because defenses are playing so far back now, playing that zone. They're not coming back, but they're not coming up.
And
but if you get a
playing nickel against you guys,
there's nothing that I've seen from the Bills that tells me that they're going to change their scheme. Nothing.
No, I get that, but that doesn't mean. Well, let's see how this draft works. Let's see what they do. We don't know that. I agree with you right now, though. Right now, no doubt. Until they show us different, I agree with Mikey. It's stay the same.
They're gonna have to prove it to me that they can learn their lesson and come up with something new.
You got to show me that you can run block now. That the running back, whoever it is, if it's James Cook, if it's
Harris, or if we draft one or whatever,
that can finally be that guy. I see James Cook is. It's a big question mark. He
got better as the year.
He did, but it's still a question mark because I don't know if he
struggles inside. He
struggles. Yeah, that's my point. Running between tackles. Now he did get a little
run between tackles.
He got a little better at the end. He did way better than Zach Moss. He at least was. I felt like he was being more patient at the end for his blocks to open up.
He's also breaking
tackles. Yeah, but if he gets a little bit more weight in the offseason, he has to get a little bit more weight. I feel like he's very thin on the bottom. Like he's very
get a little junk in that trunk.
He does. He needs to get a little bit bigger on the bottom there and gain a little muscle there. And I think he could be that running back, but I don't know. I still don't know. I kind of feel like Brandon Beane drafted him to be the guy, who's a McKissick that we were trying to get and didn't work out in the offseason, which is that pass running, running back that would go out for the pass, and they were going to rely on Singletary, but it just didn't work out. So we'll see. We'll see. I have no idea what they're going to do in the running game. I mean, we got a decent bruiser now, but can he stay healthy? And with Harris, I don't know. You know, he's been hurt most of his career, so it's.
Wait, Houston traded back up.
Oh shit! They're in.
Houston traded back up to get. So they took CJ at 2, traded back to
look at
3.
Oh, look, we're missing things.
Wow. So are they taking Will Anderson here, or are they taking the other D end?
Whoa, Curtis! What's going on here, Curtis?
Well, they moved up from 12, right?
Yep, they moved up 12 to 3.
Wow, what they have to pay for that?
I don't
We'll
know.
find out.
Can you get the info? Can you get the info, Mikey?
I'm trying.
I'll try.
Where's our insider when we need
Okay,
one?
here we go.
Scott, man. I like the confidence Scott's having now. There we go, Scott.
I wonder if they're gonna take Will Anderson.
Pick is in, so we'll see.
Man, what'd they give up for that?
They gotta get,
dude. That's a
they
lot of picks, dude.
Yeah, they had to give up something decent.
What'd they
I
give
don't know,
up?
but
Well, they for sure gave up their first, right? They probably
they had to give up at least 2 firsts. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
San Fran gave up 3 firsts last year to move for a similar, less actually.
You guys still looking, Mikey?
Will
Yeah, I'm
Anderson
trying to find
Jr. Ugh.
It's
I
not
don't
out
like
there
that.
yet.
Who'd they get?
Will Anderson,
Will Anderson
Jr.
Jr. Alabama.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Man, they
He's-
must
he's
have
the-
really.
He's the safest D end.
I don't know about doing that trade. I got to see what they gave up,
You got to
man.
pay big. I hate
Yeah.
paying like that for one player unless the quarterback.
Yeah. Unless you're Ricky Williams, you just give up your whole.
Oh yeah, dude, that was crazy.
I want to just cut to the chance and just get this over with.
Okay,
Ricky
so-
Williams, I'm out of here.
Houston gets the number 3 pick and 105 for 12-33, a 2024 1 and a 2024 3.
So they
give up to 12. They're number 33, so the second round. So they got a 1 and a 2 this year, and a 1 and a 2 or 1 and a 3 next year.
Whew.
So that's a first, second, and third. That's like a whole real draft for this kid, man. That's nuts. This team needs lots of help.
See,
That's crazy.
Houston's always. That's why Houston's.
They got back
Bad for
105, which is a third. So they got the 3rd pick overall and a 3rd this year.
I don't like that, dude. I mean, this guy's got to be awesome. Well, I don't like that. Look, he could be great, but I don't like that because one bad injury and now you've lost all that capital.
I'm with you on that.
The Dolphins did the same thing. They had all the draft capital and then they spent like drunk sailors.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They landed Tyreek Hill and a bunch of guys.
Yeah, but
Like
still,
they
man.
traded a lot of that capital for Hill.
Yeah, well, but that's why they're in cap trouble now, and that's why. That's bad. I don't like that.
Did you just mute us? The fucking Dolphins.
I mean, you know,
I put the this because. Because we don't understand the trade there. I don't get that.
I thought you were muting us because
no. See, now, Curtis, we have a thing here. By the way, we don't use it much, but I'll show you.
You better wrap it up.
there you go. That's a good one.
Tommy just randomly drops that on people too. Like you'll be in the middle of a point and he'll drop it on you.
Nice. He's got the juice, man.
I got the juice, man. I got the juice.
I don't have that on my side to do that to Tommy. That's the only bad part.
Of course not. This is Tommy's world. We're just like,
it's his world.
Horns in Tommy's world.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh man.
Whoa, man.
I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot to give up. But
you're a franchise trying to turn around.
It's not what the Niners gave up. The Niners gave up 3 first rounders to go up that high.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's less than that.
Graphic producer.
And
still,
wait till
man,
Tommy gets about six of those Coronas deep.
ugh.
He'll be dropping those things on us just for fun.
Dude, we still got like 11 commercials to go for you guys, man.
Oh,
I'm about to play a commercial right now.
Okay, so with Indy on the board, who does Indy take here? What quarterback?
I think they go.
Do they go Levis or do they go Richardson?
I think I'll go Richardson. I have a feeling they're going Richardson. Curtis is thinking.
No, I said I think they're going to go Levis.
Okay. So I didn't hear
I think they should go Richardson. I have a funny feeling they're going Levis too.
the pick
Is
is
it
in.
Levis? It's Levis or Levis. I can't pronounce nothing.
I think it's Levis.
You're probably right. I can't pronounce my own name half the time. So Levis.
Yeah, my last name's Lee. It's not hard to pronounce. 3 letters.
Yeah, I just think when you got the draft, you to me, as if I was a GM, I would try to maintain maximum draft capital and only like overshoot for like a quarterback, maybe like a generational tackle or I don't know. It's just because you never know when you're going to need that draft capital, man.
Sometimes I think that the GMs, take that draft capital is a little bit too much. They need to put too much stock in it because it's a lotto ticket. You have no idea what these guys are going to be in the pros. That's all it is. Like you can go get someone like DeAndre Hopkins today for a 3rd round pick or a 2nd round pick, or you can sit there and hope that at 27 you can get a wide receiver who in 3 years becomes what D-Hop is today.
Well, that's why I think that the more capital you have, the more shots you get. Yeah. And the more times you shoot, the luckier you're going to get. But when you start trimming down that ammo, then you've got to hit. Like they just rushed their window. They just moved that window forward.
And which is crazy considering they're in year 1 of this rebuild.
I think it's stupid.
I said, what's up? What is up with that? Now, if you eat that school lunch, you better stay away from that rectangular pizza.
You made him leave.
Curtis is out of here. Get out of here. Oh, my God.
I was going to say something, but I don't remember what it is now.
Oh, man. So the pick's in. Who has it?
Well, once it tells me, I'll let you know.
Oh, you're behind me? Okay. I forgot you were behind me. All right, well.
Like, Commissioner's reading it now.
EA Sports is in the game. Emos, holla back.
Madden NFL 2004.
Go get Madden 2004 right now.
Anthony Richardson, by the way.
I knew it. I called it. Woo! I had a feeling. I kept hearing that for like the past month that the Colts were very intrigued with him, and all over. I think Pat McAfee's show said it too. Somebody said it.
Well, Shane Steichen just came from Philly. He was offensive coordinator that helped bring Jalen Hurts along. This guy is very much like a Jalen Hurts, just a bigger guy.
I mean, listen, Mikey. The Colts, they finally took a quarterback. Like
I think
this is
the right one too.
No, but I'm saying this is why Frank Reich got fired, because he kept going for older guys, veteran guys. Like they needed to eventually go young. They needed to roll the dice with the rookie. Now it doesn't mean it'll work out, but I think he has a high ceiling. And if you coach him up right, and if he's a hard worker, then maybe he can. Maybe he can be that guy for them. I don't know, but I like the pick. I do.
Yeah, it was.
You were right, Richardson.
It was Richardson, and I thought Richardson was going to be the right pick because he reminds me a lot of Jalen Hurts, and the limitations he had coming out is the same that Richardson has. And Shane Steichen's now their head coach, who just brought Jalen along. So now
people comparing him to Allen.
I think he's more of a clone of Cam than he is of Allen.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. I mean, he's very, they're very tall, same height. They're very, bigger quarterbacks with speed, big arm, a little reckless at times, but I think it's a. I
He's
think
a
it's a good
runner
pick.
like Cam.
You're right, though. He's a little bit better as far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah,
He's more of a Cam Newton than he is a Josh Allen.
but he needs it. But he hopefully for them. I mean, I don't care what they do. For his case, hopefully he gets a good coaching staff that knows how to.
Shane
Right.
Steichen did wonders with Jalen Hurts. So,
Right.
ooh, Trey. Anthony
Andrew
Richardson,
Luck,
and
huh?
Trey Lance 2.0.
I do not like Trey Lance. But
See, my issue with Trey was coming from a small school that he had like 8 starts. At least Anthony Richardson's coming from, a Power 5 school.
man, it is so quiet for Bills stuff right now, Mikey. I'm going on nothing, bro.
They're not doing anything.
I mean, absolutely nothing.
I know.
There's not even really tweets going. The last tweet was 16 minutes ago from my buddy Dave over at Built in Buffalo.
There's a tweet out there saying DeAndre Hopkins was spotted wearing a Bills uniform at Barbell's Tavern, wearing Bills, I don't know if it was uniform or shirt, this evening. But that's just Twitter. You never know. That's a rumor.
It's funny. He was spotted driving downtown Buffalo. Right. He was hanging with him and Von Miller hanging out at the Buffalo strip club last night at 2 a.m. Get out of here. Oh, man. All right, so we're at Seattle's pick. Round 1, pick 5.
Arizona got it. They got a haul.
Oh,
talk about a good move. They picked and they got Houston's first round next year.
What is Jason saying
top
here?
10. Like,
what is
weren't they in the process of working to move to 11, right? With Tennessee, they were talking about.
You see this, Mikey?
What? Bills.
What Jason wrote?
Crazy tweeted
from Shakir Khalil. Tweeted that.
Oh, I don't know.
Something happened. Khalil's going crazy. Oh, by the way, Mikey Curtis, I told you about Khalil Shakir. You watch him in year 2, man.
Oh, I mean, I love that kid.
Well, that's why I don't think you should go receiver. I heard all this talk about you guys drafting receiver. I thought that was crazy talk.
I think people are sleeping on that kid. Like, people are forgetting all of a sudden. Like, I'm telling you, he had a pretty decent season for a guy that wasn't really in the mix a lot. He has good hands, good speed, needs to work on a little bit of blocking, but man, he's not a bad receiver, man. He was very good in college too, man. Brandon Beane gets these late guys, man. He fails in the early rounds, like the second, third. That's where he starts. I don't know why, but 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, Beane nails them, bro.
So let me guys ask you this question: Hendon Hooker, do you think he sneaks into round 1?
I don't know.
Do you think we have 5 QBs that go in round 1?
Quarterbacks always tend to freaking go.
And don't forget, Hendon Hooker was a Heisman candidate before he tore his ACL in Tennessee.
All right, Jason, you need to give me more updates, buddies. You're our inside source from now on. You're giving me Khalil Shakir media room hype. Give me more. Give me more. Why are you going crazy? What is he saying?
Shakir, sources saying something's going down. Don't know when it will happen or what but something's going down.
Oh,
yeah, I've been hearing that. I've been hearing that for about 2 days now that the Bills are in on something big.
It's Curtis. Curtis is joining the Buffalo Bills
to help the OC, dude.
Run the damn ball.
Bring in Curtis in as an assistant OC. He's dumped the Dolphins. Curtis, go ahead and slam that Dolphin sign behind you. Put that Bill sign up.
No, but seriously,
welcome on board.
Guys, just think about this. I mean, I love the game. But could you imagine you got Allen on the center, turning around, the linebacker's not seeing the football as he goes towards the running back and truly believing this could be a handoff that could be dangerous. Now you got linebackers creeping up, and
The
then you get the
safety's flying
play
down.
action.
Yes, the safety's flying down too.
What happened?
Absolutely.
It would be so, because then you get him booting out, and then you have Knox riding and releasing, and then you have the cross coming from either Diggs or Davis, and you got a three-way go. He either hits the corner, hits the tight end, or he hits the receiver over the top. And you've actually had guys creeping up in the process and flowing to where the play action is. It would be ridiculous.
You know what's weird, Curtis, about our team? You watch our team a while, play you guys.
Yeah, I watch every game now.
Okay, so I mean, for a long time, you've been a Dolphin fan for a while. So, just like me, been a Buffalo fan since '89. So it's funny because since Jim Cowley and Thurman Thomas, that whole thing, we've always been looking for a quarterback, but we always had a strong running game. Go back, way back, right? We've always drafted running backs. They all worked out. I'm not gonna Marshawn, Fred Jackson, Shady, Travis Henry. Travis Henry was a beast. I'm missing more. Willis McGahee. Yeah, Spiller, McGahee. I mean, we've always had good running backs, right? And then all of a sudden we got our quarterback, and now we don't.
It's the Dan Marino syndrome. It's the Dan Marino syndrome.
Right. We're good with Mark Clayton and Duper, the Mark brothers.
I don't know. It's so bizarre, man.
Dude.
The Dolphins had the same philosophy, and it's just such a bizarre philosophy.
Scott, I think he went to Boise State. Is that correct, Mikey Shakir?
Yeah.
Am I right on that? Okay,
Yeah.
Boise State. Yeah, I see.
Attaboy, Tommy. I'm proud of you, buddy. Okay, the pick is in. Let's see.
Picks in. All right, let's see. How am I going to react to this?
With a spoon.
Oh, you got it. You like that pick?
Devon. Yeah, it's good cornerback.
No, I don't like him.
You don't like him?
I like him as a prospect. I don't like him in the top 5. Not when you have D ends and D tackles on the board.
That's true. He is small. Realize how small he was. 5'11", 181.
You
good height. That's
drafted Wolin last year.
But that's not a bad height, Curtis. That's not a bad height for a corner.
5'11", 181.
He's almost 6 foot. I'm not saying
5'11" is about right. That's
for a corner.
Yeah, but at 181,
I don't know. He's slim. He needs it. Yeah, he's definitely thin.
He'll
he needs to build. Yeah, but the height. I don't think the height is the height's that's a pretty good height.
Is about the standard height for corners in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
5'11", 6 foot. If you they drafted Tyreek Woolen, who's like 6'3" last year, and he's their CB1.
Yeah, that's real tall. I like my cornerback 6'1", but
you got 2 of them that are that tall, and Jalen and Xavier.
Yeah, I like that size but as a cornerback, for him to add maybe 19 pounds, that's crazy.
Most corners are about 6 foot 190. He needs to add 9. Yes. If you're getting over 200, now you're getting into safety territory.
No,
linebackers are 235, 240 nowadays.
Yeah, but no, most of the linebackers, the cornerbacks I see around 200.
I do agree with this. I think Christian Gonzalez is a better corner. But no, most of the corners sit around right around 190, 195. They don't.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're
anymore.
No, they're. Yeah, I don't think so either. I think they're around that 185 to 195 range.
Mm-hmm. He's
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
He's still a little undersized with 181, but he's put 9 pounds on him, in an off-season program. He's not crazy small.
That's a little light for me. What was I going to say?
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily.
Your guy White is 5'11", 192, so he fits perfectly.
Exactly.
You guys play zone. You guys play a lot of zone.
Yeah, don't remind me of our freaking zone.
Our soft zone. At that.
Of our crazy zone
Detroit,
defense.
Detroit should be taking Jalen Carter here. You match Jalen Carter up with Hutchinson from last year, that's a dangerous D-line. Jalen Carter is the best defensive player in this draft.
Yeah. Man, I am not getting any updates on Twitter. Are you getting any updates on Twitter? Like, what's the last tweet you got? Oh, here we go. No, the last one I got is 25 minutes ago, or is my Twitter not working here?
Yeah, they should. I think they should have taken the edge rusher, Tyree Wilson. That's who the Seahawks should have taken. Or traded out so someone else could come up and get him. To take a corner top 5, he's not an elite lockdown corner, and you took him top 5?
He's a dwarf, dude. 5'11", 181, man. It's too small. Look here.
Nah,
Look,
that's not dwarf.
J.C. Jackson, 6'1", 198.
J.C. Jackson hasn't played
Ramsey's
in
is
3
big.
years.
Ramsey is big, 6'1", 208.
But he was also top 5.
Right. Howard,
Patrick
6'1",
Peterson,
203.
6'1", 2 something. Those top 5 guys are that big, and you take them.
Yeah, I just
I
don't
have
like.
no problem with his size. I have a problem where you took him in him being that size.
Yeah.
But then
I just
again,
don't
the
like
number one
guys
quarterback
that
was like
small,
5'9". The number one overall pick was like 5'9".
Damn.
I don't know how big.
Another.
I don't know how big.
Kenny Moore is 5'9", 190. But you got to be playing zones if you're that small.
All right, beer break. I'll be right back.
All right, first pick I got Mike.
I want Tiny, man. What's up, man?
We got little guy. I got Alan. Okay, we got Norbert. You guys can have the other guy.
Oh, man. We're stuck with the new guy.
Come on. Tiny, you play center, right? And what's your name again?
Jim.
All right, Tim. I want you to play line, all right?
I'm a pretty good quarterback, though.
Yeah, maybe next down, okay? All right?
Okay, go.
Craving something cool? Cheryl Wegman's WBOB.
Share the bubbles and the things you won't believe how good the taste is. Share what a feeling.
With you on our team, woo! We can win it all.
Sooner or later.
Break the ice with someone nice. It'll make you feel dynamite.
Thank God Kelly was there. Thank God Kelly was there.
This has got to be a trade up. Arizona traded up from 12.
Oh!
This has got to be for Tyree Wilson, who they were talking about taking at 3. So to get him at 6, we'll see.
Wow. Yeah, it says right here. Jason, number 6 pick for 12 and 34.
Move back up. That is interesting.
Scott said you're banned on Twitter, Tommy.
A ban on no damn Twitter. It's impossible. It's impossible.
Jason says they traded
that
up.
blue
They
check.
traded pick 12 and 34 to move up to 6. I don't know if that's legit or if that's just what he's guessing.
Oh, what'd they pay, Tom, Mikey?
Jason in the chat says they paid 12 and 34 for 6. I think they would need to pay more than that to go up 6 spots, but
That'd be great for them because that means I would give them a first and a third to get the guy they wanted because they would lose a second.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting a second. They're getting a first, second, and third. So they would still
yeah.
keep the
They
first
get
and
the
the
same
third.
guy that they were going to take at 3. They get a first, and
That's a steal, dude.
and they gave them up because they got 33 in the trade, and they gave up their normal pick at 34, so they kept the 1 pick ahead at that.
That's
That's
nice.
really what
You're smart, dude. No wonder you're a big wig.
I'm mad.
I got to sit down and look at it and write it on paper.
That's why it's my co-host. Hey, Scott, no, I'm getting updates on NFL draft on Twitter, but if you type in hashtag Bills, the last tweet was 29 minutes ago by Dave from Built in Buffalo. There's been no rumblings on there. I'm good. I'm telling you. That's kind of crazy, bro. It's quiet
That's
right
really
now.
what they paid.
It's quiet, bro.
Come on.
All right, here. I got to ask you something.
Uh-oh,
so-
Mikey, you're in trouble.
No, both of you. Because
I'm in trouble too. All right, go ahead.
I really believe the AFC. Like I like to look at my team, obviously, but now that I do all the teams, I like to take a step back. But when I look at the AFC East this year, I think it's going to be some of the most intriguing, exciting, dangerous football, just from a football standpoint. Because I think all 4 of these teams, and I know I'm probably in the minority, I think the Patriots are going to be dangerous if they have a good draft.
Oh,
I think
Curtis.
all
Curtis.
That's
Sorry,
All right,
Curtis.
buddy.
That was kind of
right.
funny. Well, go ahead with your
They
point.
beat
I'm
you
sorry.
last.
Paris
Didn't they beat you
Johnson.
last year?
They took the tackle Paris Johnson, not the edge.
Oh, notifications are popping from Ian. Says Jason N. Jason is our insider. What is what is going on?
Oh man, an offensive tackle that high?
Yeah, so they took Paris Johnson, the left tackle out of Ohio State, at 6.
Wow.
See,
We're going to give you those
good,
updates, Scott. So go ahead. Tackle Paris Johnson.
That could put a
Paris
run on
Johnson.
the tackles, man. And the Jets need a tackle, and maybe even the Patriots.
Hey, that goes to tell you how important offensive linemen are. That dudes are trading up, because they don't.
They give up a second round pick and move up.
You can't wait. Yeah, they need it. Yeah,
He's a decent prospect.
I'll tell you, I like what Arizona's doing. I do. I like that they moved down to 12 and then moved back up.
Yeah,
to get what they wanted. They collected more picks because they may have taken him at 3 if they couldn't trade out. I like that.
Yeah.
Pierre, welcome to the show, man. Pierre.
Yeah. Scott, remind us who these players are. So we'll start from the very beginning. Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama. C.J. Stroud, quarterback, OSU.
Yeah, give us
Will
those updates.
Anderson, edge. I call him edge because he's not really a D end, or he's not really a linebacker. He's more of just a pass rusher. Out of Alabama, then we had Anthony Richardson, quarterback, Florida. Then we had corner, Witherspoon, which was a shock. And then we had left tackle Paris out of OSU, and I think he'll play left tackle for the Cardinals. Lots of moving already. We've had a few trades today.
It's really interesting because there's not a lot of good tackles in this draft, man. There's only 2 or 3.
There's a handful of them. Like elite, and I truly think Skronski's going to be a guard more than a tackle. So when you look at it, you have the 2 left tackles are Jones from Georgia, Paris from OSU, who just went. You have a right tackle in Darnell Wright, and then you have Skronski, who is a guard tackle tweener. And then you have the second tier, and that's like Antoine Harrison out of Oklahoma.
I'm going to do something here
Jones out of Ohio State, who's more of a right tackle. That's a big giant, Mekhi Becton looked in dude.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a guy the Patriots are going to be aiming for.
Jones?
Yeah.
You think they're going to take him that high?
No. They're going to try to let him fall.
Okay.
No, they're not good. No.
Oh, you can't even read that.
Unless
if
one of those.
What are you looking for, Tommy?
No, I was just gonna have like a little tracker we pop on here and there that you can read. But if it's that we pop on here and there. I don't want it on all the time, Mikey. And it's something that they can read, because if it's too small, then it's pointless. You know what I mean? Where you can just kind of scroll down and be like, okay,
I'll find you one. I'll find you one.
My man, Mikey. That's what the co-host, my man's here for.
I'll find you one.
He's the man with the plan.
I don't know about that, but I'll find a tracker that we can use.
Bill still winning the East by 5 games, Curtis. In your face,
5
pal.
games?
In your
by 5 the next year. That's a lot of games, dude.
No way.
You tell him, Scott.
We won it by 5 last year, but I don't know if we're winning it by 5 again. That's a lot.
All right, you know what? I agree. We're gonna win by 4. Bam!
Dude, I honestly think that both your team and my team, we're like already in, you'll be first, I'll be second, first, and you'll be back and forth. I would say you better watch yourselves out with these Jets, dude. I think they're gonna be really dangerous if they have a good draft this year.
JJ Watt happy about H-Town making the noise, making the moves. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Houston has done nothing for the longest time.
Sure.
You got to prove me wrong, man. Just like the damn Jets. No good Jets. The Jersey Jets, baby.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that. So here's your update, guys. If you want a quick update, we'll leave it for a quick couple, maybe a minute. So go ahead, Mike. You want to run it down real quick?
Yeah. So the number 1 overall pick was Bryce Young out of Alabama. Number 2, C.J. Stroud, Ohio State. Number 3, Will Anderson. That was crazy. That trade back up. They take number 2, and then they trade back up from 12 to 3 to take back-to-back picks, and they get Will Anderson. Number 4, Anthony Richardson to the Colts. Number 5, Devin Witherspoon to the Seahawks. Number 6, Paris Johnson Jr. to Arizona Cardinals. So, kind of where we sit as of now, Tommy.
Yeah, all right, you can get rid of it for now.
Yep.
So yeah, I follow him, Jason. I follow Ian. I usually look under Bill because I want to know what Bill's Twitter's saying. And right now, finally somebody tweeted. Okay, so let's see here. I'm just curious. The Cardinals are dealing. Make the D-Hop trade already. Blah blah. So I always like to see what people are saying and the Twitter universe. But not much, man, Mikey. Quiet.
D-Hop trade's happening.
I mean, you would think it's going to happen, but I don't know, man. It is quiet. It is quiet right now.
Mm-hmm.
Quiet, man. So what are we on? Pick 7? Go ahead, Curtis. What were you saying?
Nice. I remember the Dolphins paid 2 first to get Waddle. And they were, I think it went back to the 5th overall.
Yeah.
So that's a good deal by the Cardinals, man.
Great deal.
Yeah.
Arizona's killing it right now, dude, with these moves. The fact
problem
that
they're stuck with Murray, and he's not so hot.
Well, the problem is Murray's probably not going to play next year, or at least for the first 3 quarters of the year because he's coming off that ACL.
Yeah.
They should position themselves for a new quarterback.
They should do what they can't.
I know.
They just paid them so much money. It's going to take them 4 years before they can have any kind of out.
Yeah, no one's taking him.
No, not at all.
The dead cap is so high for the first 4 years they can't get out.
I do not like undersized quarterbacks like that.
Tommy, your boy Shaq Lawson just posted a picture of him and D-Hop from high school and college saying let's make it happen.
Whoa, watch out. Watch out.
What do you think you guys are going to pay for that? The second?
Listen, I would be totally cool with a second if the Cardinals were kind of willing to work on some on his contract a little bit. If they weren't, I'd be totally okay with a third. We eat the contract, and we've wind up trading Ed Oliver to hopefully to be able to pay him because you got to figure out how to pay him now. If the Cardinals don't take any of that pay cut or take any of the pay from him, but at second, I still want to be mad at second.
Not to cut you off. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, go ahead.
I heard a report from one of the media outlets saying that they can restructure his contract and get his cap number down to 4.9 this year.
Wow. Okay.
Before the trade happened. So there's a way to do it on Arizona side to restructure, bring it down from 19 to 4.9.
Where you at, Stone? Real quick. By the way, Curtis, I know you don't know him, but this is DJ Stone. He's our resident DJ in Buffalo. He's actually in Buffalo, and he knows a few players. He goes to the Bills games. He DJs at the Bills games.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah, so he's a pretty cool dude, man. Also comes on the show. Where are you at right now? What bar are you at? Or are you at home still? Because he said he was going to a few bars. Just curious how it is in Buffalo right now.
Or is he DJing?
No, he's not. No, he's not DJing. I don't think he's DJing. He's just out and about. But I was just curious because I think he was meeting up with somebody.
The Raiders take Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech D end. They were pegging him to go number 2 overall, and he ended up sliding down to the Raiders.
That's a good pick.
That's a good pick for the Raiders.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, he just picked, man.
He's gonna learn from Chandler Jones and Max Crosby.
Mm-hmm.
2 really good guys to learn from.
I like the 6'6", 271 a lot because at least when you get those little smaller guys like the last dude was picked, you get run into the problems if he's just a one kind of one down kind of dude, just rushing the passer and stuff. That's a lot to pay for.
Tyree has the measurables. Tyree has the measurables and has the ceiling. His floor is pretty low though, because you're not sure what he's going to do. Because you're basing this pick off a projection of what he can be.
6'6", 271, man. That's.
It
depends on the scheme. It depends on the scheme.
Yep.
By the way, sorry to cut you off. Anything right now on your team, Curtis? Any rumblings that you're seeing on Twitter or anything? I don't know.
Nothing's going down until maybe the end of the first round.
But are you seeing anything right now? Are you kind of getting updates on your end?
Nah, I don't even check.
Come on, Curtis. Don't you? You're the inside source for me. You want me to get Captain D on to give me the inside scoop? You're supposed to
be for that stuff, man. Useless.
You're supposed to be the inside scoop.
DJ Stone comes in and says Buffalo's on edge right now. Never know what might happen.
I like DJ Stone, man. My man, DJ Stone.
I love his energy.
Of course, you can join Stone. Listen, anyone in the chat that actually wants to come on, let me know. I will send you a link. This is a watch party. I don't care who comes on. Curtis doesn't care. Mikey doesn't care. This is a watch party. We're having a good time. So, yes, you got the link, Stone. Yeah. You could come on. And I think, by the way, Captain D, this guy out of the shower, he may be joining us.
Nice. Yeah, come on.
So, Curtis, you will have backup. You will have a fellow Dolphin fan joining you and Captain D representing.
Yeah.
You're no good filthy fish.
The difference is with Curtis, you don't get that fan bias. I
love it. That's how I found him.
One thing I love about him.
Like, what is this? Loving Josh Allen. What is going on?
Look, I say it all the time, man.
NFL fan.
NFL to me, like I'm an artist. I draw, I paint, I write. I love
really good,
art.
by the way. I love his content. Awesome work. Yeah.
And to me, football's an art. It really is. All these guys are artists. And, it's like, I can't say, oh, yeah, you're a moron for liking Van Gogh. It's like, Allen's a good kid and he's a super talent. Yeah, I want to see him lose on Sunday. But how can you not appreciate the magnitude of the talent? I mean, just to get to the point that he's at. And then, the whole story behind it, all that other stuff. And to succeed on that level, it's just, I've kind of moved past it, except for Sunday. When Sunday comes, I'm a different guy. But to me, I just love the beauty of the sport. I might never see my Dolphins win a Super Bowl. What am I going to do? Every year, collapse when I don't win? I just want to enjoy what I can before I kick the bucket. So I just enjoy the game of football.
Dude, I am waiting and waiting and waiting. Oh, Bijan's gone. I knew he was going to go. Somebody said Pierre said he's gone. He got picked. Who? Falcons? The Falcons picked.
Going to the Falcons. I haven't seen it come through yet. But that would make sense. The Falcons.
I figure. Like, listen, he's going to be a good running back in this league. Really like him. But after that, I don't like. After that, though, I'm not impressed with any of the running backs in this draft class. That was the one guy. If I was, like I said, if he somehow fell to us, you take him. But I knew he wasn't. That he's a top 15 player.
He's got a little bit of special to him. There's a little bit.
Yeah.
When I see him, I'm
impressed.
I rarely get impressed by these running backs for the last 2 decades practically.
He is. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. If he was there, it's a no-brainer. You gotta take him.
He goes to Arthur Smith, who did wonders with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
You're going to an offensive mind that knows how to use his backs.
Mm-hmm.
If that's really, because it hasn't come through yet. So if that's
I guess they're serious about the Riddler.
Hey Stone, I sent you the link, bro. Oh man. Let's see here. All right,
I want no part of Gibbs. Gibbs is basically James Cook.
Yeah, I just listen. The running back's gone. The one that I if you're going to take one, I do not want to play this game that we've been playing the last 2 seasons where we're 3 seasons where we're drafting a running back in the 3rd round that doesn't work out. Now I like Devin. Devin worked out, but he wasn't. You know, you guys know. You know, Devin. I still love Devin Singletary, but we need a bigger number 1 solid running back, and we kept drafting guys like Zach Moss and stuff. Like it's not going to work. You got to get a solid running back. You have to.
Dude, you guys need
You do.
blockers.
No, you do. I agree with you. You got to have blockers, but you also got to have a running back that has good vision, that has patience, that can cut.
Yeah.
So look at the 2. And I know you were high on Moss, and I kept telling you Moss isn't what you think. Devin Singletary and Moss were almost the same build, almost both the same height, I believe, both the same weight. The difference was Singletary had he had better vision. He could cut a little bit better and run between the tackles a little bit better. Zach Moss didn't have the patience. He ran into the back of his blockers a lot. And that's what drove him out of Buffalo. And that's why we wound up trading him away. He just didn't work out. But look at Singletary's numbers every year with us. He pretty much averaged about 800 yards, right? That's not terrible. He could have probably got 1,000 if we actually ran the ball more. But he wasn't a terrible player for a 3rd round. But everybody else so far has not worked out. So we'll see what happens, you know. But that's my point. I didn't think.
Listen, look. Zach Moss with the Colts, 93 attempts, 4.9 yards per carry in 2022. Okay, 500 yards. To me, it's scheme. Yes, you know, single.
But they also ran. Yeah, they also didn't have any kind of
running back 3 against 2 undrafted guys.
Yeah, but he still carried
no quarterback. No quarterback. They also ran the shit out of the ball over there. Different line.
4.9. But my point is, like, okay, the philosophy.
But what did he have? Okay, but what did he average with Buffalo? Not what he averaged in Colts. Who cares what he averaged Colts? I don't care what he averaged Colts.
That's the problem. Like, you guys love finesse. You love running from the draws. You love running to the perimeters. And certain backs need different styles. Like for Moss, he's a bigger guy, and you want to hand the ball because as the game wears on, he's going to pop it a little more. He needs more inside runs.
But he didn't play that big, Curtis, with us. I'm telling you, I watched the games. I'm not saying he's the worst running back in the league. He wasn't what I think the Bills expected him to be. And I felt like at the end when they drafted James Cook, you kind of saw what happened there. Like Devin Singletary could do what Zach Moss could do. He was the same type of running back. Same weight, I think, actually.
No, I think
no, it was close. You got to remember Singletary gained weight last year. So Singletary actually gained, like, I think,
what was he up to?
5-7 pounds. What was he? 215, something like that, Mikey? 215, I think. He was big, bro. 5'8", 215, I think. I mean, that's not small.
What they brought Moss to do didn't match our scheme. Moss needs 15, 20 carries to be effective.
I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that too. I agree with that. Because he had moments. Yeah,
because he wasn't going to be effective in a 5 to 7 carry offense.
Right.
Splitting time. That's not, you know, running backs need to be fed.
Yeah, I agree on that totally.
So, I mean, I love Zach Moss, and I wanted him to be really good here. It didn't work out here. He did better in Indy when he got his chances, but they tend to feed their backs more than Buffalo does. Buffalo splits it. You know, they split the carry.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think my biggest problem from a guy watching your team is that the majority of your runs are draws. Mm-hmm. When a linebacker or a safety that's creeping up, you can see everything right there. You're watching the handoff, and you quickly diagnose, and you can attack. And it's totally different when that guy's under the center, the quarterback, and he turns.
We still have the offensive
track of the ball. What?
The problem is we don't have the offensive line and the scheme to put Josh under center. Our scheme was pin and pull, which that tends to more of those draws and things like that. It's just the way we were constructed. It's terrible, dude. I mean, like, literally, I watch you guys.
Dude, the teams are dropping like seconds before you even hand the ball off a play action. I watch Josh Allen doing it all. It's the worst, man. They read everything you guys do, and it's constantly, I know what you're doing. It's either a deep pass or you run to the edge or a draw. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, why do we have to throw the ball 25 yards downfield? Why can't we throw
I agree with that too.
You're preaching to the choir, Curtis.
I agree.
I hate to get passionate about the.
But you know, but you know what's weird? But you know what's weird, Curtis? Go back to week 1 versus the Rams, right? The way we played against the Rams week 1, we actually played short ball. We didn't go deep all the time. We played a smart, effective game because they knew the Rams were going to bring the blitz. So they got rid of the ball quick and early, and it was effective. We drove down the field. We had long drives. And for some reason, after that Dolphin, when we played against Pittsburgh, we started doing this, throwing deep, and we went away with that going to the slot receiver, going short pass. Now look at the Bengals and that what they did against us. All they did was throw. They took what was the defense was giving them. We played a soft zone. We gave the receivers 5 yards of breathing room.
Run game that beat.
No, I know it was a run game too, but they also threw short passes and gained a lot of yak.
No, dude, it's the snow.
No, I know, but don't matter. Cincinnati played that style all last season. They played short ball. They didn't need – now, they could go deep when the defenses came in because they knew then, oh, shit, we can't keep playing. Yeah. We didn't – we could have played that game because we did it week 1. We just went away from it. I don't know why. And it killed Allen because now Allen has to – and I will say this too. I don't know where Mikey went. If you watch – later in the season, the defense was collapsing so much on Allen that Allen in the past could escape. If you watch him towards the middle of the season on, Allen had nowhere to escape because the defenses were coming from all angles, and Allen was getting caught up. And it just took a toll on his body. He got hurt. He was getting blown up. So, yeah, man, like Ken Dorsey's responsible for that. He has to change that. Hold on, here's Mikey. What happened? Melon kicked Mikey out. You're on speaker. Hold on. You want me to send you the code?
Yeah, I just tried to log back in and it tells me I need that code from you.
All right, hold on. Oh, man. Let's see, Curtis.
Mikey's the smartest one of the bunch. We need him.
All right, Mikey, it's 770907.
770907.
Oh, Eagles got Carter, man. Woo!
You in?
Wow.
There's Mikey. What happened, Mikey?
Dude, Eagles got Carter.
The Eagles traded up?
And they got Carter. Woo! That's what I said. Exactly what I said.
Woo! I saw that they were trading up as I got booted out.
How did you get booted out? What happened?
I don't know. All of a sudden, they went back and.
I thought maybe your internet went down.
No, it told me that I needed to log back in.
Not good. Not good.
What did they spend on that?
Let me see if I can find it.
I don't know where DJ Stone is.
Oh, that's all right. He'll show up if he can.
No. Well, he asked me for the link. I sent him the link. Yep. I don't know. Hey, by the way, real quick, everybody that's in the chat, I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, Darnell right to the Bears. Woo! Right went over Broderick Jones.
They need blockers, though. They needed blockers bad.
Mm-hmm.
That sticks it to the Jets. That sticks it to the Jets and the Patriots.
That's some beef right there. Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis back together again. That is such an Eagles pick. That is such an Eagles pick.
The Jets and the Patriots are up, man. They've been hurting. They got one more tackle for them, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they could take Antoine Harrison. He's a tackle. but he's not one of the elites. They go with
you
Peter
overdraft him at that
Skoronsky.
point.
They can go with Peter Skoronsky. Peter Skoronsky reminds me a lot of Elijah Vera Tucker, to where he could be a guard or tackle.
PFF
He'll be an
loves
elite
him.
guard, but he's going to be able to be a tackle too.
Well, the Patriots could take him and move Onwenu out of tackle. That guy can play tackle. He's an unbelievable talent.
Yeah.
Trying to find some Bills rumors here. Nothing going. No talk.
I can't believe they got that guy Onwenu in the 5th round or 6th round or something. He's such a talent, man.
Hey, all 11 of you guys in here, I appreciate you guys, man. I appreciate you guys watching. If you're new to here, if you are watching, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and super chats are always welcome, of course.
You think Titans go Levis?
Maybe. I don't know, man.
How long can they stick with Tannehill?
Tannehill, they got caught up with Tannehill, man.
Or are they going to go Broderick Jones?
They got
cut Luan.
You got to move on from Tannehill. It's time. Tannehill's not a bad quarterback, but yeah, I think they need to. Oh, hey, look who's here, buddy. Good old Jarek. Jarek, meet Curtis. I don't know if you guys ever met.
What's going on?
That is Curtis. That's my man. He's a Dolphin. He's a no good Dolphin fan.
Oh. I'm the class to the joint. Don't let him lie.
But he's a great guy. He's a great guy, man. So, hey, Jarek, real quick. So you're on here. How do you feel the draft's been going, man? Any surprises for you or anything like that?
Yeah, there were some surprises. Definitely, I think Houston trading all the way up to get Will Anderson, I think was definitely a little bit. I mean, it was a little surprise. I'm not mad at the pick, but I definitely didn't see that one coming. I think Seattle taking Devin Witherspoon was also another one because I thought they were going to take Jalen Carter. I think Carter, I mean, I'm not really too surprised with Carter sliding all the way down to number 9. I know a lot of people are like, how the hell did he slid all the way to possibly the best team in the NFC? Well, there were some questions about Jalen Carter. Not just the off the field issues, but there were some concerns about his film, about his motor, about his conditioning, about some of the about pretty much his snap count. People were kind of questioning that. He doesn't really have the ideal pass rush move sets that you kind of would love to have, like players like Quentin Williams and Jeffrey Simmons were taken up that high. Obviously, of course, the physical intangibles, Jalen Carter always has that, and a lot of teams love it. But there's just a combination of a whole bunch of different things that pretty much put Jalen Carter all the way down to the Eagles, which is honestly, that's the perfect fit for him because now he's literally surrounded with guys like Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean, who he looked up to as a younger guy. And now he's with Fletcher Cox and Hassan Reddick. Like he's with dogs, literally dogs now. So I'm really, really happy for him. But yeah, I mean, this next pick that I don't know if you want me to spoil it, but this next pick that Chicago is about to make is not shocking, but it's definitely
By the way, Curtis, Jarek here, he knows his stuff. So if you ever
join it, man.
If you ever need a guest on, I'll link you guys up because he knows his stuff, man. He can definitely talk and yeah, man. So just
he's
a heads
Bills
up on that.
fan, though, right?
He is, but he's a Bama fan.
Yeah,
but he knows his stuff. Yeah,
my boy Tua and Waddle's there, man. So I gotta support my Bama brethrens. So
I don't care. I don't care about any of that stuff, man. As long as you know the game, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows the game, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, so you're saying, so here the Bears picks in or what? Is it in yet?
Yep. They got their guy.
Oh, there it is, right there, Mr. Curtis.
Yeah, I think didn't Mikey say Jay got done, or was he just hinting at it?
I don't know. I think he was hinting at it.
Yeah, that's a good move. They need to protect Fields, man.
I'm telling you, man, these offensive line, the good ones go early, man. But that doesn't mean you can't get one later in the round and get with one that will work out. There's, and it doesn't always mean these guys will. That's the fun part of the draft, man.
Ooh.
A lot of these guys don't make it, man.
Right.
I remember Mike Williams, if you remember him, Curtis, was a beast in college. We drafted him in offensive line, top 5.
Oh,
No. offensive lineman. He was like number 4. He was huge. He's like 6'7". Oh, he was a beast, bro. But he came into the NFL and he just he was so bad, Curtis. They put him at defensive line on goal line, bro.
When was this? What year was this?
2000 and when was that, Jared? 2001, I believe.
That's way before my memories. Have been
Okay.
deleting those years.
It was somewhere around. It was around the two. He was like, I'm telling you, though, he was a dog in college. It happens, man. Some of these guys, I tell people all the time, sometimes it's a roll of the dice, man. They can be awesome in college. It just don't work out, man.
So,
sometimes injuries, or sometimes they just don't have the work ethic, or sometimes they can't catch up in the NFL, man. It's the way it works, man.
So
the drafting process has gotten a lot better though since then. There's a lot less of those big misses.
Yeah, but look at the 2018 draft, right? Baker Mayfield's been flying around teams.
Yeah,
Sam Darnold's been flying around. Josh Rosen's not even playing, I don't think.
Quarterbacks are so hard.
No, I know, but I'm just saying there. I'm just throwing that out there. There's also running backs that don't make it. There's receivers that don't make it. That get high grades. You know what I mean? We're talking about Ed Oliver earlier. He's a top 10 pick.
He's not a bust though. He's
not a bust, but he's also not living up to the top. You know what I mean? So, and yeah, he's not there yet. And he's a good player. He hasn't.
How much do you think that is due to injury?
No, not Ed Oliver. No,
was he all ninked up last year? Wasn't he?
No. Ed Oliver's been pretty healthy for the most part.
He's been decent, but the problem is he has not lived up to the value of being a top 10 pick.
Right, exactly.
Like Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah.
Like that is
Wilkerson, right. Like the thing with him is like, I feel like he has to have a quality big guy next to him. Like when Star Lotulelei came first, when he was with Star, when Star had the one good season with Buffalo, Ed Oliver actually played pretty well.
Yeah.
But then when Star came back, or Star missed that season because he wanted to sit out because of the COVID year, he came back the following. He just wasn't the same. And Ed Oliver kind of diminished his play. And he's a little undersized, right?
Very
for that
few
position.
Good John Randalls, man. Most of these guys don't pan out.
Yeah. But I still like him. I just don't think the Bills. I think the writing's on the wall now, and I think the Bills can't afford him. And like I told you earlier, I think it's time to move on and try to get rid of him. If you can. Yeah, and find somebody else. Because what's the worst case scenario? I mean, the guy plays just like Ed Oliver, so what? You're not paying him $10 million. You know what I'm saying? And then you worry about that next year's draft. I don't know. That's where I'm going with that.
The problem though is with the
hey, you suck. You suck, Scott. All right, kick his butt. Kick his butt, Jared. Scott's talking trash about our draft analysts. All right, that's why I got Jarek on here. All right, Jarek, give Scott what he wants. Give us some draft analysts.
I'm gonna let Scott have it. I'm gonna let Scott have it.
Scott wants the X's and O's.
Yeah.
He wants the Mel Kiper. Where's Mel Kiper when we need him? All right, you know what, Curtis? That's right. Oh my God, you're not gonna get no Mel Kiper. Mikey's a little on the X's and O's. I think Jarek's pretty good. Me, nope, you're not gonna get that. I'm just gonna ramble on until somebody cuts me off. Oh man. Oh, you know what? It's time for a commercial break. So we're gonna play a commercial just because of that, Scott, because you made me upset now.
Well, this thing is just about over now. They'll snap the ball, take a knee, and that'll end it. Bills are going to drop this one, and wait a second. The ball is loose. Fisher's got it, and he's got Walker to the 20. He's to the 10. Touchdown, Bills! Listen to this place! Holy moly! What? No! They're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 30-yard line. The game comes to an end. The Bills lose a heartbreak.
That's the story of our lives, by the way. It's Bills fans.
That's
Oh,
so great you got those commercials, man. All set up, man. That's great.
Yeah, I got to play our commercials, man. We need some break here. Scott, I'm going to get Scott here as our Mel Kiper. Scott, you want to join up and join the Mafia Sports Report family? You could be our Mel Kiper. Oh, good Lord, man. Hey, you ain't firing me, man. Oh, man.
Tommy.
Yeah.
The problem with you guys moving off Oliver, if you get a young D tackle, they usually take a year or two to man up to fill that position. You guys have like a big window right now, so it's kind of like a difficult situation for you.
I get it, but you got to remember, you got Phillips there, who's a veteran. Who, if he could stay healthy, Phillips is a solid player. It's just the part of being healthy. But we also rotate a lot, so if Phillips won't have to necessarily do a lot of snap counts. We'll see. And we got God, what's his name? Jarek. I always drop the ball on this. What's the guy's name that we picked up last year? He had an okay season. I think he could be better. The guy from Washington.
Oh, the guy from Washington.
Yeah, the defensive tackle. God, I can't believe I'm dropping the ball. No. From the Washington football team.
Oh, okay, I know you're talking about now. Tim Settle.
So he's still got Tim Settle there.
I like Settle.
Right? And you got Daquan Jones, right, next to him. So you got Phillips. You could also draft a DT. So listen, if they go on and up getting rid of Oliver, I think we'd be okay. I think Settle can fill in. I think Phillips can fill in. We'll be okay. I don't see a huge drop off because Ed Oliver is gone. Like you know what I mean? Like he's not that dynamic. He hasn't been that dynamic of a player, and I don't think Bills Mafia would be that upset either if Ed Oliver.
There goes a tackle. Titans took a tackle.
There you go. See here's our update here for you. We're doing our job, Scott Blakely.
Man, the Patriots and Jets aren't happy about that.
What do you feel about that, guys? Let's give Scott some.
Oh no!
Patriots and Jets ain't happy about that.
What happened, Jarek? Jarek gives a big oh no.
I'm gonna give you. I'm not gonna spoil it this much.
Whoa! We got to inside it. Go ahead. Spoil it. We want it.
So the Lions, the Lions are gonna take a running back here at the 12th pick. They're taking a running back. This is the first time, and I don't know how long that two running backs were within the top.
Are you sure about this? Who's telling you this, Jarek?
I can't reveal the information. I'm
we got some inside sources here. That's fine. Jarek says running back. Who is it? Who's going?
Gibbs is going to the Lions.
Yeah, it's got to be him.
You heard it here first. Jarek says Gibbs going to the Lions, guys. All right, how do you like that, Scott? In your face, inside information.
One analysis. Wow, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know
if I like that.
Yeah, like I mean.
Oh, Scott coming back at you, Jared Sport. No one's announcing picks. Well, we're announcing it right
the Lions
here.
Last year with that receiver too. I think that they're reaching a little bit with some of their picks. I'm not a big Gibbs.
I don't even know Gibbs. I know Barry Gibbs. He was with the. Singer.
so this is great. Well, Detroit has, Detroit has the 18th pick, but Levis is not. Levis is like, I don't think anyone really cares about Levis. I don't think Levis is going to go until the back end of the first round. I think all the teams that really need a quarterback are kind of gone now. Maybe Washington, but no, that is the craziest. That is the craziest pick. Definitely of the day. I think that's a little. Oh wow! Like
I know he runs a 4.36, but I can't believe he's only got a 33.5 vertical. That's kind of bothers me for like a running back. I think he's 195.9, 199, which is not terrible.
Scott, you didn't just hear my man right here, Jarek, give you the inside scoop. They're taking.
What did I say, Scott? Now what?
Come on, Scott, not paying attention. See, you're not paying attention. You wanted the analysis, and we're giving it to you, and you're sleeping on us, man. And Mikey, I don't know what Mikey's doing. Mikey's eating pizza or something. I don't know what's going on. What do you got over there, Curtis? What you munching on? Tell me what you're munching on.
My wife made me some popcorn, dude. I'm like,
woo, popcorn. Ain't nothing wrong with popcorn on the draft night.
Beast mode, man.
By the way, what is everyone doing for, like, are y'all drinking on something in the chat? Are you guys eating on, what do you guys at? You got wing, you got pizza, you got beer, what do you?
Oh, you're making me hungry. Talk about that, man.
I got Chipotle waiting in the fridge for me. You guys got fast, like, what's your food over there, Curtis? By the way, I know you're living in Panama. What do you got? You guys got like Taco Bell and all the others, like all that stuff.
It's like it's
okay.
Gibbs to
I got everything over here, man.
Wow! So you just heard it right here. Gibbs to the Lions. Scott, who called it? Jarek did. I have posted that later that Jarek called that before it was even announced. Mikey, I don't know if you saw that. Jarek called that.
Apologies.
So
Jarek called that.
We need Jared to give us his lowdown, man. You need to give us the lowdown, brother.
Scott Blakely, you owe us an apology. You know what Scott said, Mikey? What? We were terrible at this draft analysis. We were awful. Scott,
that's because I left.
Say sorry right now.
Even though Jarek's kind of been money on some of this stuff lately. That's why it
Jarek
scares me about his mock draft.
I know, my God.
The crap out of me.
Scary mock draft he had.
We actually take
Captain D tomorrow. Boo.
I'm trying to tell y'all, man.
God, Jameer Gibbs being off the board makes me happy. I'm not gonna lie.
Pierre says weird pick for the Lions. What do you got to say about that, Jarek?
Yeah, that is
with
the most
Swift already there.
I did not expect that to happen.
But how did you know? What is these sources that you're getting?
I got my guys. Man.
We need these sources.
I got my guys working.
I need a guy. I thought Curtis was my guy with the sources. Curtis, come on, man. You're supposed to be my insert.
I'm not a Tony,
you live in Detroit. You didn't hear any rumblings about
nothing?
About Gibbs?
I heard they wanted a corner.
Well, that would have made sense too. It's surprising that we went with Gibbs because they already have DeAndre Swift. It seems like it's a very similar skill set. Maybe they're going to look to get off of Swift.
I heard rumors though that they were trying to trade Swift. But I didn't believe it because Swift is a pretty good running back. I know. I'm just surprised that they would try to, like.
I don't like the value though, man. That's crazy. I think they're trying to get into that. I think they're on turf though. You gotta remember they play 8 games on turf, so you get this like guy runs a 4.36, a little small guy. You got a good passing game. You get some big plays out of him. I don't know, but that's
Mikey, where's that screen that you had with the picks? I don't see it anymore.
Did it go away?
Yeah, I don't see it. Do you?
Here we go.
Oh, there it is. Okay. So here's your update, Scott Blakely.
All right, so let me run through it real quick. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson, back-to-back Texans picks. Crazy to start off the draft. Anthony Richardson, Devin Witherspoon, Paris Johnson Jr., Tyree Wilson, Bijan Robinson, and then when I stepped away, Jalen Carter. They traded up to get Jalen. Darnell Wright, Peter Skoronski, which I talked about. You know, I thought maybe it was Broderick Jones. They went with Skoronski as a tackle. And then Jameer Gibbs.
All right, there's your update.
It's still looking good for the Patriots if they're looking to go tackle because Broderick Jones is still out there.
Mm-hmm. So right here, Trig's coming in saying Arizona Cardinals GM says he doesn't see trading Hopkins happening. This is the issue dealing with a poorly run organization. So maybe I guess he came out says maybe he's trying to get more than what teams are trying to offer.
He said he wanted it too.
Yeah, and maybe teams are saying that's too rich for their blood. You know,
I love you, Scotty.
Yes, Mike, the hero came back.
All right, Mike.
I'm back. What about it?
So we just got the Packers are gonna pull off a Packers move. They're gonna take Luke Van Ness.
That leaves JSN right there for the Patriots to take.
Right there for the take, and they're gonna take Luke Van Ness.
They're gonna take Jackson Smith and Jigba, right? They need receivers to pair him with Juju.
Look at the Green Bay Packers, but I'm not too shocking because if they're gonna take an edge rusher, they always love to take 3-4 outside, like these big 3-4 outside 4-3 ends, and they like to push them outside as 3-4 pass rusher.
I'm surprised it's Van Ness, though, I thought they would go Miles Murphy. He fits more of their mold.
Yeah, and I think, and he's quicker. Miles Murphy's quicker.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit more athletic, but
Okay. That is a Packers move if I've ever seen one.
that is
So
definitely
listen,
a good player.
if this happens, the Jets and then say the Patriots take JSN now, that leaves that tackle for the Jets to take. Broderick Jones.
Jets, man, you don't want that team getting tough, man.
You know, because they're not sure what Mekhi Becton's going to be. They say he's coming back. They say he's slimmed down, but you know he has yet to play much football.
Yeah.
So you're not exactly sure what he is.
Damn. Yeah. So it is on Twitter. It says Monty Osfort. I don't foresee a DeAndre Hopkins trade happening. So yeah, maybe they're just they're wanting too much, and teams just aren't biting, man.
It's still day one. It's early in the draft.
No, it is. I'm just
who knows what happens is later on. It's all you know, smoke screen season still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
And that's for the Packers. That's crazy.
I'm really interested in who the Patriots go for. They need to draft big time because they're running the risk of coming in fourth and Belichick getting a caniche.
But you really think that Mac Jones is the answer there? I don't think Mac Jones is the guy there, man. Right now
he's a system quarterback.
He's a system quarterback.
Yeah, but if you don't have a system,
I agree.
Last year they didn't have a system.
No, I agree, but he's not. But he's the I feel like they're gonna. I don't know. If I'm a Patriots fan, I want them to move on. I mean, right now there's nothing they could do.
Yeah,
they're not going to. You know,
point, though, Tommy.
Yeah.
You only can get what you can get.
I agree.
You know, but they had a really good defense last year.
They did. They always do. They always have a good defense.
They should have won 2 or 3 more games, but they went full retard like 2 or 3 times and did stuff I'd never seen, much less 3 times in a single season. Or they would have had like 11 or 12 wins, or what would they win last year?
8, I believe. Yeah, I have to go back, but they fell off at the end, big time. Yeah, they really
retard. I mean, what was that one play where Madre Stevenson was tossing it or whatever?
I haven't. Yeah, that was wild. That was wild. Who was that against? I forgot about that.
They had one was like a pick in the end zone or some crazy. They dropped.
No, I get it. Yeah, I get it.
Look,
but
I personally think Ramadre Stevenson, if you get that guy enough carries, he's going to be a good back. And you get O'Brien in there to have a nice system. Just think what McDaniels was able to do with some of those play calls with Mac. I mean, yeah, he's got a limited arm, but still, man, they went to the playoffs year one with a rookie quarterback.
Is Bob as good of a
we got
coordinator?
Jason N coming in. Patriots and Steelers trade.
I don't think so. But he's good, and he's got a lot of experience.
Steelers move up.
Steelers move up, huh?
Patriots and Steelers trade.
Wow! I bet you're gonna grab the tackle and leave the Jets in the lurch.
What do you got for us, Insider Jarek? Insider Jarek, who do you got here?
I'm waiting for my sources. Man,
I need these sources. Mikey, what is going on? We need sources.
Tackle, dude.
Why do I need sources? I've been nailing the draft just by knowing, watching what people are saying.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about the draft, dude.
Draft season's one of my favorite seasons. It's like a second Christmas for me.
Yeah, my brain can't handle it. I just wait till after the draft. I study a little bit.
It's my Super Bowl, man, as far as
yeah.
Oh, you know your stuff, dude. I love it, man.
I'll tell you.
You got to speak more, dude. You got to speak. Stop looking for those guys. Start talking, man. What do you think about the Gibbs draft pick? What do you think about as him as a back?
I like Gibbs a lot, but I don't like Dave. You got Dave Montgomery, you got DeAndre Swift there, which we thought that was going to be a compliment, and now you had you had a trio, but one of those running backs are going to have to go. You just signed. You're going to have to want to go.
Right?
Because you got to make roster room for more particular areas. Now Detroit's picking an 18th, so it's still possible that they get Christian Gonzalez. They still get a corner in their need. I don't know. I feel like It's interesting because for Detroit, if Anthony Richardson was still there, or if Will Anderson might have been there, they probably would have took him instead of getting Gibbs. I feel like for the most part, they decided on their board they just decided to take the best available player instead of just taking the need for their particular board. But I do like Gibbs. Gibbs is he's a really, really nice running back. He's elusive. He has great footwork. One of the best receiving backs, definitely think in this draft. It's going to be interesting for him to run between the tackles because he's not the best really at it, but he's still
he's not the biggest either.
Yeah, he's not the biggest guy.
He's very much built in the same mold as Swift, which is weird. So maybe they're getting ready to move on from Swift. Maybe they feel like he's hurt too much.
Yeah, they have too many running backs. Like you have you got too many running backs at this point that are starter quality, which is more of a good problem to have, but not when you just take a running back at 12. Especially
that's high, man. That's high.
Yeah, that's a little too high. But
attaboy, Jason. Grind, buddy. Grind. He's working and doing this.
Jason's the man.
If Gonzalez is there at 18, I can see them taking Gonzalez. But you know who else I could see them taking? Branch. Because Branch could be a slot. Because Branch is more of a secondary guy. You can move him all over the field. So I can see Branch falling to somewhere like that where you can use them in an X Factor way.
Ooh, okay.
I don't like. For me, Gibbs, man, he's from Alabama. You got such an edge in blocking talent. Yeah. I just don't. I don't like that. I mean, yeah, he's a little electric. I'm watching him here, but
so Broderick Jones.
Steelers went with Jones.
Yeah, they're going with Broderick Jones.
Whoa. Yep.
There we go.
We saw that coming. That's a Steelers pick if I've ever seen one. You know where else I could see Detroit going? Joey Porter Jr. They like that bloodline.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
The Jets got to take Jackson Smith and Jigba here. You would think, right? Getting
Jets. Well, they already
just got screwed.
They moved up so they could take him. Yep. I could see them going Harrison here. I could see them going Torrance here. I could see them going JSN here. You want a sneaky one? I heard Kalijah Cansey here.
Oh. Insure up that interior. You know what's funny too? You could insure up that interior, or again, if you want to test them out and move them to 5-tech.
Mm-hmm. That was a sneaky one I heard last night. I was watching a bunch of draft content last night. I don't know which one it was I was on, but they said don't be surprised if the Jets take Kalijah Cansey. That's like a dark horse here. I mean, JSN's probably the best player on the board. But you never know. Saleh is a defensive-minded guy. I can see them taking JSN with Aaron Rodgers as their quarterback. Here you go. You want a wide receiver? Here's another receiver. Because he's been begging for one for years.
But my boy Torrance is still on the board.
Just think about how thin they are at tackle. The Jets, man, they're like, you got to bank on Becton now.
Unless they decide to go Jones from Ohio State here, they could go Harrison from Oklahoma here if they're really looking for that tackle.
I mean, that is really they got hurt, man, and all because they got the Rodgers trade and they moved back those two spots.
Yep.
Wow.
Otherwise, Broderick Jones would have been there for them to take.
I mean, you got to bank on 37-year-old Dwayne Brown playing this season. You got Becton and Brown.
Becton's supposed to be back.
Yeah, we got an update by Jason N. Diop deleted everything involved with the Cardinals. So that can mean two things. Either he's pissed that the GM is not willing to trade him, or that they traded him. Just throwing that out there.
It's him telling the GM, get it done.
Yes, that's what I think too. Yeah, he's like, oh, okay, you don't see it's possible, or you don't see it's going to happen. Oh, okay, F you.
I'm with you, Triggs. I want no part of JSN with the Jets. But dude, it screams like a give me on the board.
Yeah, but man, I'm telling you, I think the AFC East.
Curtis fears the Jets. I want to throw this out here for everybody.
I don't
Curtis
fear them.
is,
I just think they're going to be darn good, dude.
Curtis has nightmares about the Jets.
Nothing about what the Jets have done tells me that. Listen, everyone thought how great the Denver Broncos were going to be too when they got Russell Wilson, and it takes time to gel.
Yeah, but you know what? Wilson is a late clock deliverer of the football. He's always off schedule. Rodgers is going to be on schedule. He's coming into like a West Coast style offense. With Wilson, he's an off-schedule quarterback, and they had 8.8 yards per pass or something, intended air yards. That's a recipe for disaster, especially when you got Hackett, the guy who's totally clueless.
Who's now the Jets offensive coordinator?
What?
Who's now the Jets offensive coordinator?
But he doesn't have to handle everything. Dude, that's a guy you could see from his face. You give him one assignment. He is not able to make the big boy decisions, handling and everything, and then calling those plays. You could see it on his face. He looked like he was scared. It's so hard, man.
Aaron Rodgers also needs to feel comfortable with the receivers. Outside of Allen Lazard, he's thrown to all new sets of receivers, and it takes him time. It took him 9 games to get comfortable with his receivers that he had last year that were new.
I think Wilson's a guy. I think, listen, if you say one thing about Rodgers, he's a little bit of a narcissist. So now you got the narrative that he is here for the money. He's going to not be any good. So this guy is going to do everything within his power to be. He even said he's not going back. He's staying to start working out with his receivers. I believe that this guy, from all his character traits, his psychology, is hell-bent to prove everybody wrong. The media hates him. Everybody's saying he's a washed-up dude. He is going to come here, and he's going to play with everything he has. Whether that's enough, I don't know. To me, it's about the offensive line. If they don't get this offensive line going, it's going to be a lot of inconsistency. But if you can get him a run game, you got a passing game, you can protect him a little bit with this defense, it's going to be tough. But my thing is, they got Dwayne Brown at 37, and you got Mekhi Becton, who's constantly injured. So, what do you got to tackle? Smack Schmeling, or what the heck the guy's name is? I can't remember the guy's name. It was Smack something. So
I don't know.
They're screwed. Losing out on those tackles is a big hurt unless they do something brilliant.
Yeah, the best tackles are gone either. I mean, like I said, Project Jones.
No, that's it. Yeah,
that's the best in the second tier now. It's Antoine Harrison.
Yep.
It's
they got hurt.
Jones
man.
of OSU.
They got hurt.
Bergeron out of Syracuse. That's the next tier of tackles.
My personal belief is that the attrition battle on the offensive line is going to be one of the major keys to the AFC East. It happened last year as these offensive lines broke down. These quarterbacks took beatings, and as the season went into the final portion, there was lots of problems. Whoever's offensive line can maintain its cohesion, and that's through depth and starting talent, is going to have a serious edge, because I do believe running the football is going to play a key, not in volume, but in run efficiency. And so right now, man, Jets got a 37-year-old tackle, and then they got Becton, who he hasn't played a full season since the flood. They're in trouble, man. They got hurt. I feel bad for them, but I'm some of my old Jet hate is shining.
Right.
They got hurt. That was hurting.
Greg says, nah, he's a full-blown narcissist. Scotty Blees agrees with you, Curtis.
I mean, they're going to have to do something here, man. They're going to have to think of something. I mean, the one good thing is Vera Tucker can play outside. He played pretty good until he was injured. I think he's better inside, but they have one reach option. I mean, if Becton plays really well and stays healthy, and Brown stays healthy.
We don't know what Becton was. Becton hasn't played that much to know if he's good or bad.
No, but he's dropped 3 small children since then. So his chances of staying healthy is a little bit better. Man, they got hurt.
The Jets pick is in. The Jets pick is in. Is it announced yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. It is in. It is in.
I think you guys might be right about the receiver. That's what I would do if I was them.
Yeah, if Broderick Jones was on the board, they would have took him. I don't think without any hesitation.
That's why Pittsburgh moved up in front of them. They knew they were going to take him.
Oh, they got hurt, dude. I hate the Jets, man. That felt good. I haven't felt this good in a long time, dude. It's like Christmas. When I do a podcast for him, I got to play it down the line. But right now, I could have all fan hate in the world. This is beautiful.
Whoa!
So what's your
okay?
Give it to us, Sherrick.
You're taking Will McDonald.
Whoa!
Yep, you're taking Will.
Wow.
I didn't see that coming.
So that tells me right there that they wanted Broderick Jones really badly, and they did not.
Will McDonald?
They had to go to their board.
Wow.
They got hurt, dude. That was.
I'm not gonna lie. I would not be upset to see Buffalo trade up for JSN.
Oh yeah, you put him in the slot. You put
because he can play inside or outside. He has the flexibility to play both.
No,
I would not like if we were gonna move up. Not that I want us to move up, but if we were, I would not be.
I wouldn't be mad about it. Yeah.
Upset.
If they do that, though, Mikey, the D-Hop talk is done.
Yeah,
it's
I
over.
Agree.
What did the Patriots get for that?
Especially if they trade up, Mikey. That it's over.
I
that's
agree.
all done.
If we take a receiver, I think it's over.
No, I know, I get that, but especially, I mean, especially if they trade up, like if they're willing to do that, then the D-Hop conversation's over with. It's not happening. That means all conversation is over. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Don't disagree with that. Let me see if I can find what the Patriots got.
Because Patriots are loaded with picks, man. They stuck it to the Jets big time. I think they got that. I think they have a plan.